Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Deku became the Void Dragon Part 2. If you guys enjoy this what if and want to see part 3, comment down below and let me know before I start. Please do support for more awesome content and leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also share this video with your friends and check out the description in my playlist. The author of the story at 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲𝗺𝗃𝗃 from WhatIf. So let's start the video. Izuku was now in the boys' changing room putting the standard P uniform in UA. Then suddenly he was approached by none other than Shoto and Katsuki. Izuku, what do you guys want? Izuku asked them, growling a bit. Katsuki, hey shitty Deku, we want to bet if we win this sports festival you will give us those 2 appealing you had earlier and give up on you. And Shoto, and kill yourself. Everyone in the boys' locker room was shocked and angry. The 2 and Izuku just laugh at them and stands up and choked both of them. The boys were just watching the 2 getting choked. Izuku, now listen here you 2, if I ever hear you calling my girlfriends a slut again I will personally kill you. You're lucky I am holding back right now because another wants to have revenge on both of you. He then dropped the 2 who were almost passing out. Katsuki, breathe, we will cough get you for this cough . He then walked out of the changing room with Shoto coughing while the boys were amused at the situation. Izuku, I am sorry you had to see that guys. Izuku apologized to the boys. Kirishima, no it's okay bro, they deserved it, they were being unmanly to you. And what is this girlfriend all about? Mineta, yeah, and Katsushita said that there are 2 dim in you. Tempest, you lucky BSE. Mineta, who cursed at Izuku for having 2 girlfriends before him. Tokoyami, revelry in the dark. Izuku, well I fall in love with the 2 and was torn on choosing between the 2 of them and then decided to share me. Mineta was getting more jealous. Mineta, Tempest-san, teach me your techniques. Mineta bowed down to Izuku. Izuku, what, just be yourself dude and you can get 1 Kaminari. Hey Izuku-san, how did you go so strong? Everyone was now intrigued at the question Kaminari asked because they didn't want to admit, but Izuku was in different leagues among them and they want to be at the same level as him or just improve themselves to be better heroes. Izuku, I will tell you when the time comes. Everyone was disappointed at his answer. They wanted to know. Izuku, well let's go already guys, and everyone remember each one of us now are opponents when the festival starts, so do your best and give it all. Everyone nodded and were cheering and went outside the locker room. Meanwhile, with Rimuru and 𝗧𝗵𝗵 were now walking towards the observation room where they will watch the sports festival. Everyone was looking at the 2 in awe at their beauty. Random guy, my god, they are so appealing. Do you think they have boyfriends? Random guy number 2, even if they don't have they will turn us down. Everyone was talking about the beauty of the 2 and finally, they arrived at the room and went in. Rimuru and 𝗧𝗵𝗵 saw Nizu, All Might, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃, Snipe, the Todoroki family, and the 𝗵𝗃𝗃 family, as well as some police officer and detective. Tsukachi, Nizu, am I a bear? Am I a dog? No, but I am Nizu, the principal of you. And nice to meet you. Rimuru Tempest and 𝗧𝗵𝗵. Tempest, 𝗧𝗵𝗵, no, you're a chimera and or who had a pet like that when she was still a demon lord. Nizu was shocked that there are other species like him. Rimuru, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗲 is not my pet. How many times do I have to tell you she is my subordinate? All Might, give my son back you villains. All Might came in front of Rimuru and 𝗧𝗵𝗵 trying to intimidate and scare them, who weren't 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃, Toshi. So, that. Now. Inko shouted at his husband All Might, BB, but dear they took our son away. Inko then smacked All Might head and went towards Rimuru and 𝗧𝗵𝗵 bowing down. Inko, I am so sorry for my idiotic husband's actions and thank you for saving Tempest-san and keep making him happy and loved. Rimuru, why didn't you call him your son? Rimuru asked her. Inko, because I was never a mom to him. I didn't give him the love he needs and neglected him, and I was a fool to do that to him, but I will try to earn his forgiveness even if I am just his friend, as long as I can be part of his life, even if I am not his mom in his life, as long as I can see him happy and love. Inko said, tearing up, still bowing to them. Everyone was looking at Inko, happy that she changed, unlike his idiotic husband 𝗧𝗵𝗵. Izuku-kun, did you hear that? 𝗧𝗵𝗵, before Inko bowed down to the both of them. Izuku was listening to the entire time and was proud of Inko not forcing him to forgive her and smiled. Izuku, yeah, I heard, thank you 𝗧𝗵𝗵, and also tell her that I want to talk to her after the festival. Izuku then cuts off the thought communication. 𝗧𝗵𝗵, stand up, don't bow to us, and Izuku-kun said that he wants to talk to you after the festival. You alone go it. Inko was happy she gets to talk to Izuku, which she has been trying to for the past few days in UA, and was now more determined to earn his forgiveness. All Might, Can I tell 𝗧𝗵𝗲 then stopped and looks at 𝗵𝗃 who was glaring at him got scared 𝗬𝗵𝗲. Why can now 𝗬𝗏 just tell him that 𝗔𝗨𝗧𝗛𝗙? 𝗬𝗵𝗲 was stuttering. He was scared of 𝗵𝗃 whenever she gets peace. He then got carried by 𝗵𝗃 with her quirk and thanked both Rimuru and 𝗧𝗟𝗃 again and went back to their place. Rimuru 𝗔𝗨𝗧𝗟𝗘 then sat in the center and was waiting for the festival to start. Hello Miss Tempest. Rimuru then looked at the man who greeted her. Behind him was his family. Rimuru: hello to you too 𝗲𝗏 and hello to your family as well as the 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟𝗘. You can call me 𝗲𝗃 Miss Tempest, and on behalf of my family we thank you for taking care of Izuku and we are sorry for what my daughter and son did. 𝗵𝘃𝗃. And you can call me 𝗵𝘃𝗃, and this is my husband Masaru and we want to thank you for being with him. Please keep making happy Ray. Miss Tempest, we would like you to invite you two and Izuku to lunch. The ones are coming are our family, the 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟𝗘 and the Yagis. Rimuru then looks at 𝗧𝗟𝗃 and both were discussing in their minds. Rimuru: what should we do? 𝗧𝗟𝗃: let's ask Izuku first. Rimuru: right. Rimuru then turns her thought communication on with Izuku. Rimuru: Izuku, reach on. What do you need? Rimuru: the Todoroki and the 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟𝗘 invited us for lunch. Do you want to come? Izuku: sure, it's time for me to see them and I miss them. Rimuru: okay then, good luck at the sports festival. Ikuan, I love you. Izuku: thanks. Richan, I love you too. 𝗧𝗟𝗃: what about me? Izukuan, 𝗧𝗟𝗃 said pouting. Izuku: I love you my Sichan. 𝗧𝗟𝗃: I love you too. Izukuan, good luck. The thought communication then ended. Rimuru: our answer is yes, we would like to join you. They were happy at Rimuru's response and thanked both 𝗧𝗟𝗃 and Rimuru and went back to their places with Izuku. The sports festival was now starting. Present Mike was announcing the year's sports festival. PM: hi, are you guys ready for the sports festival? The crowds were screaming louder, cheering, while Aizawa was annoyed by Present Mic's loud voice. PM: now let us start first. The class that somewhat survived the villain attack, Class 1A. The crowds cheered louder and came out. Class 1A with Izuku in the center front leading the class and many heroes and civilians watching them. PM: and next we have the not shining class yet, Class 1B. The crowds cheered again, but it was not louder than Class 1A. Blonde: we will show you 1A scums that we 1B are more superior. He was knocked out by a girl with orange hair. Orange: so sorry about him, he has superior complex and also good luck. The girl then dragged the blonde guy back to his class. PM: and we have the following classes: 1C, 1D from the general course and business course, 1E, 1F and the support course, 1G, 1H. The other classes then came out and all of the students now standing at the center of the arena. PM: and now the host for this sports festival, the R18 heroine Midnights. As soon as Mike shouted the name Midnight, every guy in the stands were now looking where she is and nosebleed while the girls were envious and angry. Midnight: hello everybody, I will be your host for today. The students were looking at Midnight flustered of what she was wearing while the male audience were cheering even louder. Kirishima: someone should really tell Midnight Sensei about her outfit. Kirishima said, blushing while looking away at Midnight. Tokoyami: revelry in the dark. The others nodded while Mineta puts up a thumbs up at Midnight's clothing. Midnight: now before we start the tournament, can the first year representative come in front and give us your speech? Katsuki and Shoto stepped in front of the students wearing their huge smirks until Midnight. Let's give it a round of applause to Izuku Tempest, this year's representative. Everyone was clapping while Izuku was walking towards the podium while the two backed down and was embarrassed and angry. Izuku: to all of the a first year including me, I wish all of us a good luck and bring it your all, cause I will too, and to the audience, enjoy. Izuku then went back to his classmates. Midnight: what a short and wonderful speech from our first year representative, it made me wet. Midnight was now rubbing both of his thigh looking at Izuku, her lips. Meanwhile, two silver blue-haired girls were fuming in anger. Izuku: I feel like I will die tonight. Izuku shivered in thought and went back to his classmates. Kirishima: whoa dude, your speech was so manly. The others nodded while Mineta was very jealous. Mineta: Tempest, you lucky bee. Mineta was shouting, cursing at Izuku for being handsome. Midnight: now for the first event will be obstacle course I. In this game only 42 students can get in the second game and the winner has a big reward. Midnight set her lips while whipping her WHP, causing every male student to be determined to win. Every students were now in the starting point of the game and was ready. Midnight: race starts in 3:21 go. Midnight fired a gun staring the race. The gates then opened but students were stuck cause the exit was too crowded. Suddenly Shoka traveled around the walls with her ice and her fire. while 𝗧𝗵𝗲 flew fast with her explosions and Izumi flying through the exit. Shoto and Katsuki, who saw, immediately copied their sister's move. Meanwhile, with Izuku, he used Hero's Wrath at 10% and his element Wind and Fire, soaring through the exit and surpassing the three girls. He kept soaring until he got to the first stage. 𝗵𝗃. Would you look at that, folks? Izuku Tempest surpassed the three girls who were in first place. Meanwhile, Aizawa was getting annoyed by Mick's loud voice. Izuku got to the first stage and was stopped by the 0-pointer Izuku. So this is the first stage. Izuku then used his light element and went on top of the 0-pointers. Izuku, Yasakani no Magatamung Light Blast were firing rapidly at the 0-pointer. 𝗵𝗃. What the hell, Aizawa? What were you feeding them? Aizawa, all my students did it on their own, especially Izuku. 𝗵𝗃. Did you hear that, folks? Aizawa is a bad teacher. Aizawa then wrapped Mike around his scarf, shutting him up. Meanwhile, with Izuku, 0-pointers were destroyed and parts of it were blocking students from passing through the first stage, and then Izuku saw Shoka, Izumi, 𝗧𝗵𝗲 were trailing behind him. Now Izuku, gonna go fasts. He then immediately get to the next stage. Meanwhile, in the observation room, we can see Rimuru and 𝗃𝗃 were cheering for Izuku, and All Might and Inko were cheering for Izumi and Izuku, as well as the Todoroki and Bakugwa were cheering for their kids. Nizu, Miss Tempest, did you know what Izuku will be planning of today? Nizu asked Rimuru and 𝗃𝗃, who looked at him. Rimuru, yes, we know what he plans on today. Everyone in the observation room was confused. What did Izuku planned was in everyone's thought. Meanwhile, back in the race, Izuku immediately surpassed the second stage, passing through it the same as Shoka, Izumi and 𝗧𝗵𝗲, and immediately got to the third obstacle, which was very easy for them. Izuku just flew through it and immediately went to the finish line. 𝗵𝗃. First place, and just 4 minutes. Izuku Tempest wins and broke the old record of 6 minutes. Everyone in the audience were shocked. A first-year student just broke the time record, making him the new record holder, and every heroes were now very interested with Izuku. Izumi then came second, Shoka third, and 𝗧𝗵𝗲 fourth. Izumi, congrats Oni-chan. Izumi then hugged Izuku, and Izuku just pats her head, making the other two jealous. Izuku then pats both of their heads too. Meanwhile, Inko was smiling that Izumi earned Izuku's forgiveness and forgave her, same as the other two. The Todoroki and Bakugwa family were happy that Izuku also forgave Shoka and 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Time skip after the race. Izuku Tempest 2. Izumi Yagi 3. Shoka Todoroki 4. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 Bakugwa 5. Nihility 6. Shiozaki Ibara 7. Denki Kaminari 8. Katsuki Bakugwa 9. Shoto Todoroki, Nito Monoma Midnight. Now all of those students that didn't got in the 42nd place, don't worry, we still have games for you to play. And now back to the qualifiers. The next game will be cavalry race. Each student is given a point value and a team's value depending on where their members finished in preliminaries. The 42nd place finish is worth 5 points, with 5 points added to the point value with each cascading place. So the first place will be 100 million points. After Midnight announced the rules of the game and their points, everyone started looking at Izuku, fiercely wanting to steal his points, but suddenly they all felt a shiver on their spine as Izuku looks at them. Izuku, try it only lead you to failure, Izuku said, releasing 5% of his aura. Everyone then stopped glaring at him. Students started forming their own group. Izumi, 𝗧𝗵𝗲 and Shoka also joined by 𝗵𝗃𝗃. There were in a one group. Katsuki and Shoto, however, is teamed up with Nito Monoma and Mineta. However, Izuku doesn't have a team. Everyone was avoiding him, so he decided to go to Midnight. Izuku, Midnight Sensei, can I go solo? Everyone is avoiding me. Midnight, okay Izuku, now everyone. Izuku will be going solo during this match, of first time ever in UA. Everyone was shocked that Izuku would go solo, and some students called him arrogant, and the audience too. Random audience. Arrogant scum, just because you got first place in the first game doesn't gives you the right to be arrogant. Everyone was on Izuku, but he didn't care. He didn't give a f about their comments and just went on. Meanwhile, two certain blue-haired girls were fuming mad at the one who said that to Izuku. Rimuru, 𝗃𝗃, remember that face will torture him later. Rimuru was smiling maniacally. 𝗃𝗃 already remembered. 𝗃𝗃 too was smiling, thinking of how will they torture the idiot who said that. Wilka, the others on the observation room with them, watched them horrified. Everyone, reminder not to insult or mess with Izuku. They were looking at Rimuru and 𝗃𝗃, who were smiling creepily, while Nizu was almost gonna laugh while sipping his tea. Back to the arena. Midnight, now everyone has their teams. So we will start now. Go to your places, students. Everyone went to their respectful places, and then the gun fired, stating the start of the Kalari race. Everyone immediately going to Izuku except for Izumi's group. They know that they can't get Izuku's, so they started getting other teams. Headband Izuku. Rocky waves. Izuku touched the ground and the landforms suddenly became malleable and waves formed. All the groups who charged at Izuku immediately falled back because of the attack Izuku made. Meanwhile, Katsuki's team went charging to Izuku. Katsuki, you shitty Deku, you will not win this time, I will have that. Katsuki charged at Izuku. Soaring wind. A small raging tornado formed and threw Katsuki away, and this goes on for 30 minutes. No one was getting close to Izuku because of the defense he made was too impossible to get until Izumi's group decided to try and take Izuku. The tornado suddenly stopped and Izuku saw Izumi was the one who dispelled the tornado, and they were ice skating so that the rocky waves won't interfere with their attack while 𝗧𝗵𝗃 was maintaining their balance. With her boosters Izuku. Ho, so you're finally coming to me, my dear Imuto Izumi. We already had enough headbands, so why not try and get yours? Even if we couldn't, this will be a nice experience for us, Izumi said, trying to get hold of Izuku, who was phasing too fast for her to get a hold off Izuku. Oh, and come at me as much as you can, Izumi. This group charges at Izuku. Izumi. I still can't get a hold of him. Shoka. Izumi, he can't phase if two elements charged at him at the same time, so when I charge my attack at him, hold him down, and may not be able to balance us, so could you balance both sides when I charged at Izuku? You may. Leave it to me as long as I get to use my babies. Shoka. Take this fire and ice combo. Raging eagle. An eagle made of ice with a fiery wings started forming and attack Izuku. So Shoka is trying to stop me phasing. Too bad I've gone past that already. Izuku, thinking that the attack will only pass through him, but the eagle suddenly charges at the ground beside Izuku. Izuku noticed but was too late to dodge as the eagle had hit the ground. Burst of ice and fire elements was bursting towers Izuku, hitting him. Izuku, if only I was not restricted. Flashback 3 days before sports festival. Izuku was now in the office of Nizu cause he was called. Izuku, uncle, you need me? Nizu, Izuku, I have something to talk about. Izuku, what do you want to talk about, uncle? Nizu, unfortunately for you, this coming festival the teachers show your power and it will be unfair for other students, so you will be restricted to only use your hero's wrath to 10% and you CNA only use 2 ability. Izuku, what come one, that's unfair, only 10%. Nizu, no it is not, and plus think of this as a training for you. Get stronger and faster in your 10% form. Izuku sighed as he won't get past Nizu. Izuku, alright fine. Flashback, and Izuku was now cannot phased because of the attack. Shoka, Izumi now. Shoka shouted, then Izumi held Izuku. Izumi, yes, we got him. Izuku, now I have to use my trump card, my dear Imuto. Izuku smirked, and suddenly Izumi can't get a hold of him. Shoka, I forgot he can embody an element. As Izumi tried to hold Izuku with her telekinesis, she can't cause the telekinetic force will just go through Izuku's body. Finally I got out. Now look at that. Izumi can't touch Izuku. What is this? Aizawa. Mike said, just go tout from the scarf of Aizawa. Aizawa, it's one of problem nephew's ability to turn into an element itself. Everyone was shocked, including the audience and the heroes who were watching. Izuku was too overpowered. What, that is crazy. What kind of overpowered quirk is that? Meanwhile, in the observation room, everyone was shocked at Izuku's ability, but the Yagi, Todoroki, and Bakugwa family were more shocked of the girl's development. All Might, honey, I don't remember teaching Izumi that. Did you teach her that? Inko shook her head, impiling. She didn't, same as the other family. They only see this right now. The girls were very strong and had a lot of technique. Nizu, is there even something that can hit him with that kind of ability? Nizu said, shocked at his nephew overpowered ability. Rimuru, yes, they are actually only one. Everyone looks at Rimuru. Rimuru, the only thing that can hit Izuku in that form is hockey, but at the level Izuku is right now you have to have Ryu hockey, not normal hockey. If you don't have Ryu hockey, the attack will only pass through him, Rimuru said, making everyone in the room confused. Nizu, can I ask what is hockey? Rimuru, hockey is a power that allows the user to utilize their own spiritual energy or will for various purposes. There are 3 kinds of hockey. First is the armament hockey, where you can coat your arm in a black invisible armor, and the evolved form of it is the Ryu hockey, the only thing that can damage Izuku when he is at that state, but 𝗳𝗵𝗃𝗄𝗧𝗟𝗘. Second one is called observation hockey, is a form of that grants the user a 6th sense that allows them to sense the presence, strength, and emotions of others, as well as gain limited precognitive abilities. And lastly, the most rarest of all of the Conqueror's Haki is a rare form of that allows the user to exert their own willpower over others. This type of Haki cannot be attained through training, and only 1 in several million people are born with this ability, and Izuku has all 3 of them, even the Ryu Haki he has. Everyone was shocked that this kind of power existed. 𝗏𝗏𝗏. And how do you earn that power, Miss Tempest? Rimuru Haki is very dangerous cause the training will always put you at death's door. That's why a few people can only do it cause the training is inhumane, meaning you will literally die for trying to obtain it. Everyone paled thinking of how Izuku went through a inhumane training. Back to the ground. Izumi. Breathe, breathe, breathe. How long are you gonna stay in that form? Don't you get tired, Izuku? No, actually I have unlimited stamina. Izuku casually said. Izumi. 𝗬𝗧𝗟𝗘. Izumi was speechless at his brother's ability and skills. Each skill he has was overpowered. Midnight. Okay guys, time's up. The cavalry then ended. The only on who got in was Izuku solo. 100 million points. First place team Izumi, 1273 points. Second place team ●𝗏, 275 points. Third place team Katsuki, 265 points. Fourth place team Azui, 235 points. Fifth place 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗏. Why there are 5 teams in qualified round? Because Izuku is only solo, so in Azui's team there will be only 3-member Azui, Shoji, and Kaminari. Midnight. Next game will be the tournament round, but before that we will have our lunch break so everyone can go eat lunch. Izuku, Izumi, Shoka and Katsumi were walking towards the observation room. _person POV. It was now time for lunch. Izuku, Izumi, Shoka, and Katsumi were now heading out to go to the observation room but stopped when they saw Rimuru and 𝗂𝗏. Izuku. Reach on, king. Izuku waved at them and both Rimuru and 𝗂𝗏 ran to him and hugged him. Rimuru. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, congrats. Winning the 2 games, and you too Izumi, Shoka and Katsumi. You made Izuku use his trumped card, meaning you've gotten sharper and stronger. The 3 girls smiled at Rimuru. Izumi, Shoka, Katsumi. Thank you Rimuru-chan. 𝗂𝗏. Congrats Izuku-kun for winning, but I know you'll win. Izuku. Thank you 𝗂𝗏. Izuku kissed 𝗂𝗏 and Rimuru, and 3 girls were looking at them a bit jealous. Once they were done kissing, Rimuru and 𝗂𝗏 saw the jealous look of Izumi, Shoka, and Katsumi. Rimuru. 𝗂𝗏, let's talk to them later about 𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗂𝗏. Yes 𝗵𝗃𝗏, are they seem to be jealous. Fufufu. Rimuru. 𝗂𝗏, whatever you are thinking, don't do it. 𝗂𝗏. Hi, you're no fun. But 𝗂𝗏 did it anyways. 𝗂𝗏. Izuku and I want to whisper something to you. 𝗂𝗏. Rimuru. 𝗂𝗏, I told you don't do it. 𝗧𝗏. Izuku then went closer to 𝗂𝗏, but suddenly 𝗂𝗏 kissed him. Izuku. 𝗂𝗏, there people here. 𝗂𝗏 kept continuing to kiss Izuku and 3 girls were annoyed by 𝗂𝗏. They know she doing it to make them jealous. Rimuru. *𝗧. *𝗧𝗏 has done it. Rimuru looked at the 3 girls and saw their face irritated and jealous. 𝗂𝗏 then stopped kissing Izuku. 𝗂𝗏. Let's go st. Are we still have lunch to go to? 𝗂𝗏 just said this like nothing happened and the 3 girls grew more irritated and jealous. Rimuru. 𝗧. Okay girls, let's go, your family is also there. Izumi, Shoka and Katsumi then nodded, but the 3 girls suddenly went to Izuku and wrapped their arms around him. Izuku. Izumi, Shoka and Katsumi, what are you guys doing? Rimuru. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is still dense as ever. 𝗧. Izumi. Nothing Oni-chan, we just wanted to hug you, right? Shoka, Katsumi. The 2 girls nodded. Izuku. Okay. Izuku then patted their heads. Rimuru. Let's go now guys. Rimuru then teleported all of them to the restaurant. They then went in and saw the Todorokis, Bakugwa-us, and finally the Yagis. Izumi, Shoka/Katsumi. Mom, Dad. The 3 girls ran up to their parents and hugged them. Ray. Good job Shoka, you have gotten stronger than before. Shoka. Thanks Mom. Mitsuki. Brat, I didn't know you were that smart in using your quirks. Katsumi. What does that mean, old hag? I am always smart. Mitsuki. What did you say you did? Brats both were arguing while Masaru was calming both of them. Izuku. They're still the same. How good? Izuku smiled at them. Inko. Izumi, congrats on going to the tournament. Honey, you have gotten so strong. Where did you learn how to use telekinesis like that? Izumi. I read these manga Mom, they helped me in how to find ways to use my power. Izumi then saw All Might not speaking, just standing still. Izumi. Mom, why is Dad like that? Inko. Oh nothing sweetie, right Toshi? All Might. Hi, nothing's wrong. Izumi, congrats on getting to the tournament. Inko, so mean. All Might made sad noises in his mind. Inko. Now Izumi, where is Tempest? San, I thought he'll join us for today. Izuku. I am here. Yo guys, how are you? They then saw Izuku and ran up to accept for 𝗵𝗃 and All Might, who was being held by 𝗵𝗃. All Might. Dear 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁, All Might said to 𝗵𝗃, but quickly shuts up when she saw 𝗵𝗃's creepy face smiling at him. 𝗵𝗃, dear, right now is not the right time to talk to Tempest, sen can't you see he is happy, and plus Miss Seal said that I can speak to him after the sports festival. All Might, again being stupid, tried to protest, but his mouth was quickly shut off by 𝗵𝗃. 𝗵𝗃, dear. Let's talk for a bit. Okay, guys, Toshi and I need to talk, so we'll be outside for a bit. Izumi, I pray for your safety, Dad, Izumi said in her thoughts. Ray, now Izuku, how are you? Izuku, I am fine, Auntie Ray, feeling better than ever. Mitsuki, you demon brat, you scared me when these brat here said that you jumped Izuku. I am sorry for scaring you, Aunt Mitsuki. Mitsuki, it's okay, demon brat, but how are you in good terms with the girls? I thought you would hate them. Izuku, I did at first, but it's hard to explain. I will tell you all later in the sports festival. Fuyumi, my little Aizu, how are you? Izuku, Fuyumi. Izuku hugged Fuyumi and Fuyumi hugged back as well. Tuya, stop babying him, Fuyumi, he is already grown up. How are you, twerp? Izuku, I am good too. And I, Natsu, let her have it, niece. And Fuyumi missed Izuku, how are you, bud? Izuku, I am fine too, Nats. And I, NG, Izuku, you have grown stronger than ever. I hope we could spar sometime. I want to see which level I am right now. And you demon lucky beast, how did you bag 2 appealing girlfriends? NG was holding Izuku up, looking at Izuku. Ray, dear, what did you say, dears? Ray said, smiling but with a scary aura surrounding her. NG looked back and was scared. NG, I was just joking, dear, I meant to see congratulate or nephew. NG stuttering, scared of his wife's wrath. Ray, is that so? Then mind if we talk a bit outside? NG's fear grew more and started shaking. NG, how about WT talk here, honey? Ray, ho, you're talking back to me, NG. NG, and no, I was just suggesting. Ray then grabbed NG, who grabbed a chair to keep him from going outside, but was futile as his hands suddenly. Let's go, Izuku. Good luck, Uncle NG. After a few minutes, Ray and 𝗵𝗃 came back inside dragging a beat up NG and a beaten up All Might. All Might, why were you beaten up, Endeavor? NG, I said something I shouldn't have. All Might / NG, it's 𝗵𝗃 - Ray. Shut up, you big baby, their wife said, glaring at the both of them. All Might / NG, 𝗵𝗃. Ray, sorry for the delay everyone, but Shoto and Katsuki won't be here today, said they need to do something. They nodded and all of them started to eat. The restaurant was full of laughter and talk while NG and All Might was only eating quietly, afraid of angering their wives more than they should. RD person POV. Izuku vs ● Izumi vs Mineta Katsumi vs Shoji Mei vs Lita Shoka vs Nito Shoto vs Ijiro Katsuki vs Tetsutetsu Azui vs Kaminari. After the lunch, Izuku was now in the changing area. Cause he will be the first to fight in the tournament. In round 1 he will be up against Hitoshi Shinso, class 1C in the general education, the guy who wages war against him and his classmates. Izuku was now preparing inside the changing room until he heard a knock in the door. Izuku, who is it? Icon, it's me and Seal. Izuku recognized the voice and opened the door and saw his 2 girlfriends Rimuru and Seal. Izuku, Richun, Tian, why are you guys here? I thought you will be with Nizu watching. Rimuru, we just came to say good luck to our sweet boyfriend. Rimuru then kissed Izuku on his cheek. Seal, good luck, Izuku. Seal kissed Izuku's left cheek. Izuku, thank you, my Heims. Izuku kissed Rimuru first and then kissed Seal. Midnight, now everyone get ready cause now we are starting. Izuku, oh, it's almost time. Richan, Sichan, I have to prepare. Rimuru, okay, Ikuin, but good luck. Seal, good luck, Izuku. The girls then waved goodbye at Izuku and went back to the observation room. Midnight, now for the first round we have Izuku Tempest from class 1A going up against the underdog of the general course, Hitoshi Shinso from class 1C. Izuku then got outside in the right of the arena while Shinso is on he left side A/N. Just imagine Izuku on a gym uniform. Both Shinso and Izuku then stepped on the platform. Midnight, are you guys ready? Izuku and Shinso nodded at Midnight. Midnight, then start. Present Mike, I am 𝗑𝗏𝗄. What will Shinso do against the overpowered Izuku Tempests? Aizawa, just shut up, Mike, I am trying to sleep here. Aizawa wrapped Mike again in his scarf and sleep back to the fight. Shinso, your life must be good considering you have such a overpowered quirk. Izuku got a bit but stayed calm and was just waiting for Shinso to attack him. Shinso, so you will stay quiet? Huh, well, I bet those 2 only stayed with you for your power. When Shinso suddenly said that the whole arena was covered in a dark aura. Izuku, You just signed your death warrant, 𝗫𝗪. My win. Now get out of the ring, Izuku. Now why would I do that? Said Izuku, who was 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 first he insulted her girlfriends and now was ordering him to get out of the ring. 𝗫𝗪. What? Why aren't you in my control? 𝗫𝗪 said shock and now was scared because of what he said to Izuku's girlfriends. Izuku. So your quirk has something to do with brainwash, huh? You know no one can control me, 𝗫𝗪. If I can't control you then I will just have to knock you out. 𝗫𝗪 rushed at Izuku and tried to punch him but it just went through him. Izuku then grabbed his arms. Izuku. I know you didn't mean what you said about my girlfriends but still you have to pay the consequences. Izuku then threw 𝗫𝗪 through the wall. Barely conscious, Izuku got in front of him and whispered. Izuku. Whispers. You didn't do what I advised you, 𝗫𝗪. You know when I was a kid. I was quirkless up until I was 14. I was bullied, berated, tortured and discriminated by everyone. Then my quirk came and I never stopped. I never let anyone's word got through my head. And let me remind you that the quirks only depends on what the users do with it. It neither heroic or villainous. It is what the users do that what makes it. Now if you still won't follow this advice then you can't move forward and become a hero, 𝗫𝗪. So train and move forward. Stop wallowing. Already I told you that. Weeks before sports festival and congrats on getting in 1A. Izuku then left 𝗫𝗪, who was shocked in hearing Izuku's life and was feeling ashamed and sorry for Izuku for calling his girlfriends and was determined to earn his apology and become a hero beside him. Present Mike. Izuku wins by knockout and out of bounds. Time skip. Izumi and Minata's battle were ended easily because of Izumi just pushing Mineta out of the ring. Now it was 𝗧𝗵𝗲 versus Shoji. Izuku. Good luck, cat. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Thanks, 𝗂𝗵𝗃. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 then went out and prepared in the changing room. After a few minutes she was finally called and was now in the ring. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Good luck, Shoji-san. Shoji. Thanks, 𝗧𝗵𝗲-san. You too. Good luck, Midnight. Are you guys both ready? The two nodded. Midnight. Then start. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 then charges at Shoji and shot multiple explosions at him but Shoji was just shielding himself from the explosion. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. TSK, so you have resistance to explosions, Shoji. A bit cause of my arms, they sometimes act as a hard shield. Shoji then formed his arms into wings and just blew a wind towards 𝗧𝗵𝗲, who barely dodged the attack. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. I need to focus. 𝗧𝗵𝗲, who shot explosions again, was getting countered by Shoji's wind. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. If distance won't work then I will have to come closer. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 then rushed at Shoji, blocking the incoming winds that Shoji made. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Take this explosion punch. A punch empowered by an explosion was now traveling towards Shoji's face. Then Shoji again blocks the attack and grabbed 𝗧𝗵𝗲 and threw her. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. If I was just saving this for last. Now let's see if your winds can counter this. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 then spins using her explosion to make her faster. A tornado made of explosions was made and was charging to Shoji rapidly. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Take this destructive hurricane. Shoji was surrounded by the hurricane and inside he was barraged by a bunch of explosions from all sides, not allowing him to block in the stands. Izumi. Whoa, Shoji must be a really tough opponent for her to use her new move. Shoka nodded in agreement and wondered how she would fare against Shoji Kirishima. Whoa, that was so manly. Katsuki. When did that 𝗧𝗏 learn how to do that? Katsuki was pissed her sister was more powerful and sharper than him. PM. Look at that, folks, a hurricane. What is this? Aizawa, all of your students are seriously overpowered. Aizawa. Shut up, Mike. Aizawa then went to sleep again. PM. Meaning, after that the hurricane was gone and in the center Shoji was now at the center, knocked out cold. PM. There you have it, folks. The winner for this round is 𝗧𝗵𝗲 𝗵𝗃𝗲. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Where I won first round. 𝗂𝗵𝗃𝗃. Izuku. Congrats, cat. Keep it up. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 blushed. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Whispers. Thanks, 𝗂𝗵𝗃𝗃. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 said shyly. Midnight. You can go now, 𝗧𝗵𝗲. There's still a lot of battle left, so please go now. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 then went out of the platform embarrassed. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 then arrived at the stands. Izumi. Congrats, cat-chan. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Thanks, Izumi. Izuku. Good job out there, cat. Izuku patted her head and steamed came out of her head. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Thank 𝗧𝗚𝗃𝗃. Said 𝗧𝗵𝗲 blushing while Shoka and Izumi were heedless of 𝗧𝗵𝗲 getting head pats. Shoka/Izumi. What about me? Izunai/Onim. Both girls were pouting. Izuku then patted both of their heads. Both blushed and thanked Izuku, but two people can be seen and angry. Katsuki/Shoto. How dare you stealing my Deku? I will kill you. Time skip. The battle went on. Lita won but was just used as an advertisement for May's babies, and Shoka won encasing Nito on ice, who was just busy bragging about 1B. It was now time for Shoto versus Kirishima. Izuku. This is a bad matchup of it, only that Tetsugai was this SHT's enemy. Good luck Ijiro-san. Both were now on the platform. Midnight. Ready? The two nodded. Midnight. Then go. Shoto. Just give up, you weakling. You are no match for a god like 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃. You may have a powerful quirk, but that's not gonna stop me from giving up. Just like 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 hardened and charged at Shoto, who was at the mention of Izuku's name. Shoto encased Kirishima on ice and warning 18+, disturbing stuff, so if you don't want to read it then skip. Kirishima was now trapped in the ice. Shoto. How dare you mention that weakling in front of me? I will make you regret mentioning him. In front of me, a god. Shoto blasted fire at the ice, making the ice melt, and very hot. Kirishima was screaming. The ice that encased him turned into melting hot ice, was burning Kirishima's hardened state, plus the few that was coming for burning him more. Kirishima's flesh started to show up and turned purple. Kirishima screamed in pain as his flesh were burning. In the stands, audience were now looking at Shoto with disgust. Midnight. Shoto. Todoroki, stop this now or you're disqualified. Shoto. Tisk. Shoto stopped and Kirishima was barely conscious, but burn marks were clearly seen. His arms, his torso, and his body was purple. Shoto. I told you to just give up, weakling. Haha. Class 1A were disgusted even more. Shoto and Mina was crying while Katsuki was smiling. Izuku. Just wait, you two, I will make your pain 1,000 times more than what you did to him and to others. Izuku was pissed, so was Shoka, Izumi and Katsumi. The observation room, the Todoroki family were now was shameful and disgusted at Shoto's acts. Meanwhile, Nizu was just sipping his tea knowing what was about to happen to Shoto. Back to the stadium, Kirishima was sent to Recovery Girl and was being treated. He was visited by the entire class except for Shoto and Katsuki, who were just smiling. Time skipped. The fight with Katsuki and Tetsu was barely called a fight because all Tetsu did was kept blocking until he was exhausted and knocked out. And Kaminari and Ajui's fight. Kaminari won by paralyzing Ajui for a few minutes and carrying her out of the platform. Kaminari versus Lita. Izuku versus Izumi. Katsuki versus Katsumi. Shoto versus Shoka. It was now time for the second battle, and the first to battle was Kaminari and Lita, and it was basically a bad matchup because of Kaminari's quirk. He overcharged Lita's quirk, not allowing him to control his speed, and he ran straight through a wall. Kaminari. Lita-san, here, let me help you. Kaminari helped Lita up. Lita. Thanks Kaminari-kun, and congrats for winning this round. Lita shaked Kaminari's hand. Kaminari. Thanks man. Both Lita and Kaminari went back to Class 1A seat. The class was congratulating Kaminari and was also comforting Lita, who was saying he was okay while doing his demonic hand chops, and suddenly Lita's phone rang. Lita. Excuse me guys. I need to take this call. Lita then left and went into a quiet place. Lita. Hi mom, I am sorry for not winning the tournament, Lita said, thinking her mother would be ashamed of him. Lita's mom. It's okay Lita, you still tried your best and that is enough, but it is not the reason why I called you. Have to come here to the hospital quickly. Lita notices his mom's voice was full of worry. Lita. Mom, what happened? Why are you in the hospital? Did you get hurt? Lita said, going to Aizawa. Lita's mom. Yes, and I am not hurt, but Tenya, your brother, is. Lita's mom voice was shaky and rough. Lita. What happened to Oniai-sama, mom? Lita's mom. He is dead Tenya, he was killed by a new villain called 𝗲𝗏. Lita stopped and was thinking his mother was just joking. I mean, his brother was his hero, he is supposed to be strong. Yes he was, but his enemy was simply too powerful for his brother to defeat. Lita. Mom, am I hearing right? Can you please say it again? Tenya asked his mom to repeat and was holding back tears, hoping he only misheard what his mother sighed to him. Lita's mom. I am so sorry Tenya. I know you look up to your brother very much. He is dead Tenya. I am so sorry. Lita's mom was now crying and Tenya dropped on his knees and tears flowing out of his eyes. Lita. I am coming there mom, wait for me. Lita then used his quirk, sped through the halls and just went out of view. Without asking Aizawa any more. Back to the stadium, it was now time for Izuku and Izumi's fight. PM. Now it's time for the next battle. Izuku the Elemental versus Izumi the Telekinetic Queen. Now this will be the battle I am excited to watch. Izuku and Izumi came out on each opposite side of the stadium. Midnight. Now are you two ready? Izuku and Izumi both nodded. Midnight. Okay, now start. Izuku. Finally my dear Imudo, show me your resolve. Izuku charged Hero's Wrath at 10% and also his elemental orb began to form in the form of element Izumi. This will be the moment that I will prove I am strong too. Oniai-chan. Izumi then levitated and some rubbles began to float. Izumi. If you won't move then, the rubble began to spin rapidly around Izumi, creating a hurricane. Izumi. telekinetic rubble, the rubble began charging at Izuku at a very fast rate. Izuku, raging flies. Flies began to form in each different element countering Izumi's attack. Both the rubble and the flies clashed each other, resulting in an explosion in the center of the stadium. Whoa, what was that now? This is the battle I've been waiting for. The audience were also cheering louder. Izuku. Not bad Irimuto, but not enough. Izuku charged forward to Izumi, kicking her back to the ground. Izumi, who didn't got time to block the kick, flew straight to the ground, not before turning her barrier, which saved her from being knocked out. Izumi, you're asking for it, Onion. This hit how do I beat Oniai-chan? Izumi was panicking in the inside, thinking of how to beat her brother and prove to him that she can stand by him and be strong. Izuku, don't think too much, my dear Irimuto, or you will lose this fight. Izuku then kept punching the barrier. He could easily broke this barrier if it wasn't for the limit Niza gave him. Izumi then turned the barrier off and punched Izuku on his stomach. Her punch was in force with her telekinesis, making it more stronger than her normal punch. Izuku now flew back a few feet from the punch. Izuku, oh, you got a strong punch there, my dear Irimuto. Too bad it only affected me a little. Izuku yawned, and which made Izumi annoyed. Izumi, if you're tired, then how about taking a nap? Suddenly the sky turned red and a meteor came down charging towards Izuku. Izuku was just watching in amazement. Izuku, a meteor? I never saw one before. Better check that off in the bucket list. Izumi was just shocked at her Oniai-chan excited expression. The meteor suddenly stopped as if it was being held by something or someone. Izumi was yet again shocked. Her Oniai-chan suddenly disappeared and was now holding the meteor. Why two big hands? Izuku, go back where you belong. Izuku threw the meteor back in space. The audience, students and teachers' jaw dropped at Izuku casually throwing the meteor back to space. Izuku, now then Izumi, any more tricks left? Izumi, yes, and this one I know, this one will sure beat you. Izuku, well then come at me with all you got. Izumi, the world Tokyo Tom. Suddenly a barrier was now made covering the entire stadium. Everyone stopped moving as if the time stopped. The dust stopped moving. Everything stopped except for Rimuru and 𝗂𝗍, who watched proud of Izumi, her newly trump card that she was practicing before the sports festival. Izumi, how is this Oniai? Izuku was stop. He can't move, but his mind was still active and can see and hear. Izumi, it's my win. Izumi sighed quickly as she noticed her time is running out. She can only hold this for about 8 seconds. Izumi quickly used her telekinesis and pushed Izuku towards the boundaries. Izuku, I am proud of you. Izumi, Izuku, just let. Izumi pushed him even if he can move, and Izuku was pushed off the boundary. Izumi then finally let everyone move. What the hell happened? First Izuku was winning and suddenly he is out of the boundaries. Audience were shocked too, even their classmates. Izumi was the world took a toll on her movements and her stamina. Izuku, good job on winning. Izumi, here, take this. Izuku tossed her a bean. She was confused. Izuku, just eat it. Izumi just did what her Oniai-chan said and swallowed the bean. Suddenly the pain and ache in her body was fading away and her stamina rise back up. Izumi, what was that Oniai? Izumi was confused, very confused. Izuku, that is called senzu bean. I gave that to Uncle Aizawa when we were fighting in the USJ midnight. Well, we have our winner Izuku Yagi. Everyone cheered at Izumi and Izuku for the spectacular fight, even if they didn't know what happened that made Izuku lose. Both Izuku and Izumi then walked out of the platform. While going back to their classmate, Izumi stopped. Izumi, Oniai-chan, why didn't you move? Izuku, what do you mean? Izumi, when I used the world I know that you can move, but why didn't you? Izumi was just confused why he didn't move. Izuku, because I was already gonna forfeit but wanted to see how much you improved, so I thought fighting you for a bit and forfeit, but you defeated me to it. Izuku chuckles. Izumi, why were you gonna forfeit, Oniai-chan? Izuku, so that you three can have your revenge. Izumi then started thinking. Izumi, so you purposely let yourself defeated because you want me, Katsumi and Shoka have our revenge on them? Izuku nodded. Izumi, but what about Yoyu? Don't you want to have revenge on them too? Izuku, I will have my revenge later and I will make it far more painful. Izuku smiled maniacally while Izumi felt a shiver on her spine when she saw her Oniai-chan smile. Izumi, scary Oniai-chan. Izuku, well, let's go now, my dear Irimuto. We still have to watch Shoka and Shoto's fight. Izumi, hi Oniai-chan. Izumi then just jumped at Izuku's back and just ride at his back along the way. In the observation room, the teacher and the parents were shocked, especially Nizu, who was for the first time confused of what happened. Rimuru, I see everyone is confused. Well, 𝗂𝗍, can you explain what happened? 𝗂𝗍, yes, 𝗵𝘃𝗲, now what Izumi did was she stopped time in this area. Only me, 𝗵𝗃 can move, but now you're wondering why 𝗧𝗵𝗃 didn't move. It's because of his plan. Everyone was shocked, jaws dropped in their mouth, especially the Yagi's 𝗵𝗃. What, I never even taught her that? And how do you know Miss Seal and Miss Rimuru? Rimuru, can you not shout geez, 𝗵𝗃? Sorry, I was just shocked, Rimuru. It's okay now. Izuku gave me permission to tell you something. Here goes the one. You have been always with our clones of Izuku, including Shoka and Katsumi. There were just clones made by Izuku, and the real ones were with us training. Everyone was now demanding explanation on why Rimuru. Thank God Izuku gave me permission. The reason they were with us because of your sons Shoto and Katsuki. Everyone was confused again. Rimuru, Seal, just show them the memories of Izumi, Shoka, and Katsumi. Seal nodded and showed everyone the memories of the three girls being raped and abused by Shoto and Katsuki. Everyone now was crying and angry. Mitsuki and Rei broke down crying. Mitsuki, Masaru, where did we go wrong in raising him? Why didn't we notice? Masaru, why didn't we? Our dot was suffering. Mitsuki was now having a mental breakdown. She can't believe her own son did these horrifying things to his sister and his friends, and she didn't notice. She felt like she failed as a parent to her daughter and son. Masaru was comforting Mitsuki, hugging her and caressing her. Masaru, it's not your fault. Mitsuki, it's mine. If I was just not like this, I could have disciplined him more. I am so sorry. Mitsuki. Both were hugging each other, crying in each other's arms with Rei. Rei was crying, so was Enji, Fuyumi, Tuya, and Natsu. Rei, Enji, why did he turn out like this? Did we raise him wrong? Did we not love him enough? Did we not teach him? Enji, why? Rei was sobbing. Enji, it's not you, dear, it's me. If I wasn't so blinded with my goal on defeat on All Might before, none of this would have happened. I am so sorry. I failed you. Rei, everyone was broken down. Fuyumi, Nichan, how didn't I notice Shoka was suffering? And Icon, why did Shoto do that? Nichan. Fuyumi was hugging Tuya, who was comforting her to him. Fuyumi was one of the most vulnerable in his family. That's why he kept close beside her. Tuya, it's not your fault, Fuyumi. All of us didn't, especially me. I am the big brother of the family. I was supposed to protect all of you, but I failed, Tuya said with sadness and rage in his voice. With the Yagi, 𝗵𝗃 broke down, and so was All Might. Both failed their son, and now they failed their daughter, and was very ashamed of themselves. 𝗵𝗃, Toshi, were not fit to be parents. We failed twice. First Izuku, we neglected him, and now Izumi, we didn't notice her suffering. Toshi, we failed. 𝗵𝗃 was crying on the ground. All Might didn't say anything. 𝗧𝗵𝗃 got up and tried to go to where the class 1A sat. Rimuru, don't do it, All Might. Izuku will take care of it. All Might, no. How do you expect me to stand here knowing what they did to my daughter? I already failed once with Izuku. I don't want to fail her too. All Might finally broken down. Tears were filled in his eyes. All Might, I already failed my 𝗬𝗲. I just don't want her to be gone. I already lost my 𝗬𝗲, and Izuku, I just don't want to lose her too. All Might stand up and began to walk out, but he was held by 𝗵𝗃. All Might, 𝗵𝗃, let go. 𝗵𝗃, no, Toshi, Miss Rimuru said that Izuku will take care of it. 𝗵𝗃 shouted at Toshinori, who was taken over by his rage. All Might, 𝗵𝗃, I said let go. 𝗵𝗃 didn't listen and still held Toshi. She then went to Toshi and hugged him. 𝗵𝗃, stop Toshi. Miss Rimuru said Izuku will take care of it. Just let Izuku take care of things. All Might calmed down a bit after seeing his wife's tear dropping in her eyes. All Might, I am so sorry, dear. I was just afraid. I failed already. I know I am a failure. I failed my 𝗬𝗲. I failed Izuku and I failed her. All Might hugged 𝗵𝗃 back, crying. 𝗵𝗃, I failed her too, Toshi, but we can't change it all. We can do is just move forward and earn both of their apologies. 𝗵𝗃 said, crying. Rimuru, you truly have changed. 𝗵𝗃, and All Might, I see you starting to change to now. Answer me this, all of you. What are you gonna do to Katsuki and Shoto? Rei, I don't care anymore. Do what you want with him. As of now, he is not my sons. Rei shouted. Everyone was shocked. Rei, the one who loved her family very much. Mitsuki, me, and Masaru too. He did this and he needs to know the consequences, and we disown him. Nizu, then I will get the disownment paper ready. Nizu came out. He too was crying. He never saw the memory of the girls. The girls only told her, but once he saw their sufferings, that was the second time he teared for a human who has gone through that. First was Izuku and this was the second. Rimuru, now it's decided. Back to the stadium. It was now a battle between Shoto and Shoka. Midnight. Are you guys ready? Both Shoto and Shoka nodded, and suddenly time stopped again. Izumi used the world ability again and made Shoto, Shoka, Katsumi, Izuku moved while everyone was freezed. Shoto, finally I can show you your place, my little slot. I know that useless piece of 𝗬𝗲 was weak. Shoka, shut up. 𝗬𝗲 is much stronger than you're sorry, but 𝗧𝗪𝗃 shouted angry Shoto. What did you say? You 𝗧𝗏 looks like I need to show you your place. Shoto then charged ice through 𝗧𝗪𝗃, who simply countered with her fire 𝗧𝗪𝗃. Raging Phoenix, a phoenix made of black fire, began to form and charged at Shoto. Shoto tried to block the fire, but his ice quickly melts as soon as it made contact with the phoenix. Shoto then was hit by the phoenix, burning him. Shoto. Hey, stop this, 𝗧𝗏𝗃𝗲, stop. Shoto was burning for a few minutes. He was already charcoal black, and suddenly he was healed. Izuku healed him using the senzu beans, and Shoto was shocked but was full of rage and charged at 𝗧𝗪𝗃 again. Shoto. 𝗬𝗵𝗃, take this. Shoto tried to make a bird made of fire but ultimately failed. 𝗧𝗪𝗃, was that your bird weak? What a failure. 𝗧𝗪𝗃 then went towards Shoto holding the black fire. 𝗧𝗪𝗃, now burn again. 𝗧𝗪𝗃 fired the black flame to Shoto, who was now scared of getting burned again. Shoto. Aha, stop, I give up, stop, have mercy, 𝗵𝗃. Shoto cried, pleaded 𝗧𝗪𝗃 to stop. 𝗧𝗪𝗃, did you stop when we asked both of you and Katsuki to stop raping us? Huh, did you now, page? Shoto again was healed. Shoto, what is happening? 𝗧𝗪𝗃, shut up now, I will make it more painful now. Warning, 18+ gory stuff, so if you have a weak heart then don't read this. 𝗧𝗪𝗃 didn't burn Shoto, instead boiled him alive using her ice as turning it to water using the fire, and trapped Shoto in a huge ice surrounding him and water rising. 𝗧𝗪𝗃 then used the fire to boil the water inside the ice while replacing the ice that was melted. Shoto was boiled alive. Shoto. Stop, 𝗧𝗪𝗃, please sister, stop, I beg you, stop. 𝗵𝗃, Shoto said. Suffering from getting boiled, his skin was melting, high flesh can now be seen, and his hair falling apart. 𝗧𝗪𝗃 continued to boil him for 30 minutes and stopped. He again healed Shoto. What in no more? 𝗵𝗃, stop. 𝗧𝗪𝗃 continued to torture Shoto for about 80 times, and each torture was different. It was getting more painful and painful in each torture. Shoto's mind was already broken, but Izuku fixed it with his unique skill. Tranquility. Shoto's mind was fixed. Shoto. What happened? 𝗧𝗪𝗃, and no more please, Shoto said, afraid and was traumatized by 𝗧𝗪𝗃. Okay, because there's still others who wants to torture you. Suddenly the time began moving and everyone was moving again. Midnight. Are you two ready? 𝗧𝗪𝗃, miss Midnight, I forfeit. Midnight. Why? 𝗧𝗪𝗃, because my arms and wrist are aching, I can't use them properly. 𝗧𝗪𝗃 acting like her wrist and arm was in pain. Midnight. Okay, go to recovery girl. Shoto win this round. Shoto paled, he knew he was getting tortured more now. It was time for Katsuki and Katsumi's fight. Katsuki and Katsumi were now in the platform. Suddenly again Izumi used her technique, the world and everyone yet again stop except for 𝗧𝗪𝗃, Katsumi, Katsuki and Izuku. Katsuki, now slot, I want you to give just like that. Little slot 𝗧𝗪𝗃, and come to our bedroom later. Katsuki grinned pervertedly but was met by a laser in the form of explosion. Katsuki. Katsuki looked at his body and there was a hole in his stomach which was made by the laser. Katsuki. My stomach, you 𝗧𝗏, what did you do? Katsumi. I blew a hole in your stomach, that's what I did. 𝗬𝗧𝗏 was now on the ground on the verge of dying but was healed by Izuku. Katsuki. What happened? Katsuki saw that he doesn't have the hole anymore. Katsuki. You're gonna pay for that, 𝗬𝗏𝗃. Katsuki charged at Katsumi and shot explosions at her which she countered by her own explosions, but suddenly Katsumi stopped and suddenly ate the explosions Katsuki made. Katsuki, what the hell, tell me how you did that, tell me. Katsuki was furious, his sister was stronger than him. He proclaimed himself as a god but was utterly beaten by his sister Katsumi. Explosive breath. Katsumi opened her mouth and a huge explosion was fired towards Katsuki, who was desperately trying to get away from it but inevitably was hit by the explosion. Katsuki's body was torn in half, his lower torso was separate from him. Katsuki. Hey, Katsumi, now our torture starts. Katsumi then walked towards Katsuki, who fired explosion at her which she ate, and Katsuki was crawling away from her. Katsumi. Now which finger do I first need to explode? Is it this one or this one? Pick. Katsumi was now holding Katsuki's finger. Katsuki. Katsumi, stop this, I am your brother. PKS, stop this. Katsumi. I asked you which one, now answer. Katsuki didn't answer but continued to cry from the pain he is feeling. Katsumi. Okay, I will decide for you. Katsumi then blew his index finger on his left hand first. Katsuki. Yeah, stop, it hurts, stop. Katsuki was screaming in pain and Katsumi, who was blowing his finger one by one. Katsuki. Stop, have mercy, please. Katsuki was crying. Katsumi. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃 Izuku then healed Katsuki. His torso was back and so was his finger Katsumi. Now Katsuki, you will be my test dummy for my new skills, okay? Katsuki was now afraid. Katsumi, now take this my new move, brilliant detonation. Katsuki was trying to dodge the blast but was failing. His legs were exploded, his arms are now gone too, all that was left was his head and body. Katsumi 𝗵𝗃𝗃 stop this. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 Katsuki sa plead fell deaf on Katsumi's ear. Katsuki was healed again. Katsuki, no stop, no get away, no. Katsumi continued to torture Katsuki 80 times each with different technique. One was where his head was the only thing that was not blown and one where Katsumi blowed up his 3-inch sack. His mind was now broken, but Izuku again with his unique skill, tranquility, healed and fixed Katsuki's mind. Katsuki, no more 𝗵𝗃𝗃 stop, get away from me, Katsuki said crying. Katsumi, I am already finished. Katsuki sighed in relief. Katsumi, but there is still others who wants to torture you. Katsuki's relief was placed with fear. Everyone again can move. Katsumi, Midnight Sensei, I forfeit my wrist are straining, making it dangerous for me to use my explosions as of now. Midnight, okay, what s with this forfeits, okay. Katsuki wins. The audience cheered, but Katsuki was scared. He wasn't happy, he was dead right scared. Katsuki and Shoto were now afraid but gained hope because Kaminari was still in the fight and was hoping that Kaminari would beat them, but unfortunate for them but fortunate for us, Kaminari was against Izumi and was beaten quickly by Izumi, pushing him off the platform. Midnight, wait, we have an announcement from our principal Nizu. The final fight will be battle royal, so it will be 3 people fighting to be the winner. PM, now let's present the fighters. First off we have the telekinetic queen herself, Izuku Yagi. Izumi came out and went to the platform and go to her place. PM, next we have the explosive dynamite Katsuki Bakugo. Katsuki came out, was now confident because Shoto was beside him. PM, and finally the peppermint man himself, Shoto Todoroki. Shoto came out to wearing a confident and arrogant smile, thinking they would beat Izumi together, and how wrong the two were. Midnight, are you 3 ready? The 3 nodded. Midnight, then start. Then Shoto and Katsuki immediately charged at Izumi. Shinra Tensei, suddenly an invisible force pushed Shoto and Katsuki back. PM, what is this? It looks like Katsuki and Shoto teamed up together. Is that even allowed? Midnight, Principal Nizu said it is all right. Back to the fight. Katsuki, what the hell was that 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃? There it goes. Katsuki in blind rage said the thing that made all of the audience boot at him and made every students in you. A disgusted Shoto then shot blast of fires towards Izumi, who just simply put a barrier around her, not allowing the flames to touch her. Izumi, is that all you got? Shoto and Katsuki got pieces at this and finally snapped. Katsuki, how are you and those others stronger than us? Shoto, we are gods. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃, how dare you? Izumi, you a god? That's a good one. Izumi then strangled both of them with her telekinesis, not allowing them to move. Izumi then looks at the audience and then the camera. Izumi, planetary devastation. Suddenly Katsuki and Shoto were pulled upwards and rubbles and rocks were starting to fly towards them from all sides, crushing them. Shoto/Katsuki, Katsuki and Shoto both screamed in pain from the rocks crushing them. Class 1A, all of them were shocked except for Izuku, Shoka and Katsumi. Mina, whoa, she just made like AF moon in front of us. Momo, Mina language, but holy sweet mother, how powerful is Izuku? Yeah, but what's more cool is that she hasn't used her full power just yet. Everyone who heard what Izuku said was shocked in the observation room. Everyone jaws dropped. They literally have a moon right in front of their screen. All Might. God, All Might said, his jaw dropped on the floor. Inko, where did she even get this from? Inko asked herself, ace full of shock, but she was proud, same as All Might. Nizu, Miss Tempest, what is that ability Izumi did? Rimuru, planetary devastation, an ability that was used to seal a goddess before. Nizu, name's familiar. Rimuru, it should be familiar cause it is in the manga called Naruto. Nizu then remembered an old manga that Aizawa used to read when he was in the faculty room every time. Nizu, you mean she learned this from the manga? Nizu said, shock. Rimuru, yes. Nizu finally snapped. He laughed for the first time. He laughed crazily. Nizu, ha 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 ha. Everyone who was in the room except for Rimuru and Seal got scared at Nizu's laugh and were staying far away from him. Meanwhile with present mic. PM, Whoa, 𝗧𝗵𝗲 just made AF moon in front of US ladies and gentlemen. Present Mike then looked at 𝗧𝗏 who had stars in his eyes. 𝗧𝗏. I will ask 𝗧𝗵𝗲 later to do it again. I wonder if she can do Shinra Tensei. And Bansho Tensei, 𝗧𝗏 muttered, excited, wanting to see it closer. Back to the fight. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 then released them. Rubbles were falling, and then Katsuki and 𝗧𝗱𝗃, who were impaled not by one, not by two, but 4 rocks. 2 rocks were impaled on their legs, and the other 2 was on the stomach and shoulder. Audience saw this and was horrified, including the students were horrified. 𝗧𝗵𝗲. Now time to reveal everything. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 suddenly pushed a button. Katsuki, 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗍𝗃 right, cowed hitting noise were heard, and a girl who was sobbing, 𝗧𝗏𝗃, sorry. Please stop. Then the recording stopped. The audience were confused on what just played. 𝗧𝗵𝗲, what you heard was Katsuki Bakugo scolding a girl for not his little pp of right. These 2 here are 𝗲𝗏𝗃, abusers and mostly villains. They raped me and my friends Katsumi and Shoka. They would threaten us if we tell anyone about this, and this is another recording of them, another recording. 𝗧𝗱𝗃. My god, my little slot. 𝗧𝗵𝗲, your PP is so tight. Katsuki, 𝗧𝗱𝗃, let me use her when I am done with this one. 𝗧𝗱𝗃, yeah, hey, what about we get 𝗵𝗃𝗲 next time? She got that big but that needs spanking. Katsuki, yeah, let's do it after the sports festival. Then both laugh and continue to RP the clones. End of the recording. The audience were disgusted on what they heard, especially the students. Everyone was shouting at the 2 curses and profanities, but one girl cried. She was now vivid of her little brother. 𝗧𝗱𝗃 was no more than a villain. 𝗵𝗃𝗲 broke down in tears, and 𝗬𝗏 was more PSS now than ever. While comforting 𝗵𝗃𝗲, everyone in the observation room heard the recording and was PSS. Katsuki, where did you get those siege? 𝗧𝗵𝗲, the ones you always RP was not us. Both 𝗧𝗱𝗃 and Katsuki was confused. No, everyone was except the ones in the observation room. 𝗧𝗵𝗲, what I mean is that the on who you have been doing it was just Oniai-chan elemental clone while we were staying with Oniai-chan. 𝗧𝗱𝗃 and Katsuki was shocked. They were just raping some clones and they were with Izuku. It pieces them. Katsuki, how dare you? Izuku, these were mines, and 𝗧𝗱𝗃, you fucking useless SH. Izuku, how dare you call them UFQ? Izuku then burned Katsuki's arm off, who was screaming in pain like a little beach. Katsuki, make it stop, Pulses, make it stop. Katsuki screamed in pain while 𝗧𝗱𝗃 paled in fear. Kill them. No, make them suffer, they deserve to die. Suddenly a voice shouted, and everyone look where the source was, and it was a girl who was crying. Izuku, who are you? Did they do something to you too? My name is Hina, and 2 of them raped me and my friends and threatened us. They kept doing it to us until my friend hanged herself. The girl now known as Hina cried, Hina, so PSS, kill them, they're the reason my friend hanged herself. Hina broke down on her knees remembering her friend who hanged herself in front of her. Izuku, UF pieces of Izuku shouted in rage. Then a chains came out of his body and chained both 𝗧𝗱𝗃 and Katsuki, who was now shouting in pain because of the chain. Izuku, now suffer from the chains of torture. Chain wrapped 𝗧𝗱𝗃 and Katsuki tighter and tighter. Katsuki and 𝗧𝗱𝗃 then passed out. Midnight. Police take these 2 out and arrest them. The police who were on standby came and cuffed the passed out Katsuki and 𝗧𝗱𝗃. Izuku then flew straight towards the girl who was also raped by Katsuki and 𝗧𝗱𝗃. Izuku, Hina, right? Hina nodded. They won't hurt you anymore, and I am so sorry about your friend. No one shouldn't suffer like that. Izuku hugged Hina, who cried in his arms. Hina, thank you so much. Thank you. My friend can now rest in peace because of you. Thank you so much. Izuku, no problem. And oh, what was the name of your friend? Hina, her name is Kami Utsushimi. We promised we would become a heroine duo, but it can't happen now. Hina said, remembering the time where they met each other. Flashback. Hina was playing with her doll in the playground when suddenly some bullies came and started to bully her. Hey, don't you touch her. The bullies look at who said that and saw a monster behind them. All of them then ran away from the playground. Are you okay? The monster vanished and was replaced by a little girl. Hina, thank you. You're welcome, and totes to meet you. I am Kami Utsushimi. You can call me Kami. Hina, nice to meet you. Kami, I am Hina Shinagawa. Thanks you so much for saving me from them. Kami, again, no problem. I am glad to help you. Why were they bullying you? Hina looks down. Hina, 'cause my quirk hasn't come out yet and they already thought I am quirkless. Hina looks down thinking Kami would hate her. Kami, that's a dumb reason to me. They're just acting like villains. Hina, why we think so? Kami, and from now on you and I are friends. Hina looks at Kami happily. Hina, by the way, what are your dreams? Me, I want to become a heroine even if I turned out quirkless. Kami, me too. How about both of us team and we will be called Hinami? Hina, why Hinami? Kami, 'Cause if you combine both of our names it will become 𝗵𝗃𝗵𝗃 and it's cool and cute, 𝗵𝗃 giggles and from then on both become best friends and 𝗵𝗃 gained her quirk 𝗵𝑃𝘃 to where the tragic day happened. It's been 11 years since 𝗵𝗃 and her become best friend, but this year was the hardest and cruel for them. Both were raped and threatened by 𝗧𝗵𝗃 and 𝗧𝗱𝗏. 𝗵𝗃, who couldn't take it anymore, was now about to hang herself in her room. 𝗵𝗃, 𝗵𝗃, don't stop. 𝗵𝗃, what about our dream? 𝗵𝗃, 𝗵𝗃, I am so sorry that I am so weak. 𝗵𝗃 cried. 𝗵𝗃, you're not weak, please come down now. 𝗵𝗃, don't do this. Remember 𝗵𝗃, I can't be 𝗵𝗃 alone without you. 𝗵𝗃, don't do this. 𝗵𝗃, I am so sorry. 𝗵𝗃, please stay strong for the both of us and especially for yourself, and tell my mom and dad thank you for everything and I love you. 𝗵𝗃 then hanged herself. 𝗵𝗃, 𝗵𝗃 knew. 𝗵𝗃 run towards 𝗵𝗃 and tried to get her down, but it was too late as 𝗵𝗃 stopped moving. 𝗵𝗃, no, 𝗵𝗃, don't. 𝗵𝗃, 𝗵𝗃, don't leave me. 𝗵𝗃. 𝗵𝗃 quickly cut the rope off and put 𝗵𝗃 down and CPR her, but it didn't work. She tried again for a few hours. The cops came and 𝗵𝗃 was gone. Time skip to funeral. 𝗵𝗃 was now in 𝗵𝗃's funeral. She saw 𝗵𝗃's parents depressed for the past week. 𝗵𝗃 has been trying to comfort 𝗵𝗃's parent while she was depressed. She hasn't eaten in the few weeks after 𝗵𝗃's death, and it was all because of 𝗧𝗱𝗏 and 𝗧𝗵𝗃. 𝗵𝗃, I swear I will avenge you. 𝗵𝗃, I will kill those two. Flashback. And Izuku, what if I can bring her back to life? What will you do? 𝗵𝗃, I will be happy. I missed her so much. I didn't get to tell her my feelings. I loved her. Even if I am a woman too, I love her with all my life, but she's gone. 𝗵𝗃 cried. Izuku, those wait till I put you in the void. Izuku, thank you for speaking your voice out, and again I am very sorry for your loss. 𝗵𝗃, no thank you. You given me a courage to speak out. I was too afraid and scared, and I promised her that I would avenge both of us, but I didn't. I failed. Izuku, what if you can? 𝗵𝗃. 𝗵𝗃 confused of what Izuku said. Izuku, after the sports festival meet me outside. 𝗵𝗃 just agreed. Time skip. It was time for the awards, but because of 𝗧𝗵𝗃 and 𝗧𝗱𝗏 arrested, they were both replaced by 𝗧𝗵𝗃 and 𝗧𝗱𝗏. Midnight. Now for giving the awards we have All Might, I am here, shouted All Might, whose eyes were red like he cried a lot, which he was. Midnight, don't interrupt me. All Might, I am sorry. Midnight, now for the rewards I congratulate you 𝗧𝗵𝗃 for her fighting spirit that made her won 3rd place. Congrats young 𝗧𝗵𝗃. All Might hugged 𝗧𝗵𝗃 and put the medal on her. 𝗧𝗵𝗃, thank you Uncle Toshi. 𝗧𝗵𝗃 whispered to All Might, now for the 2nd place I give you 𝗧𝗱𝗏 Todoroki because of her power and sharp mind and wonderful strategies. She won and earned the 2nd place. Congratulations young 𝗧𝗱𝗏. All Might put the medal on 𝗧𝗱𝗏 and hugged her. 𝗧𝗱𝗏, thank you All Might. 𝗧𝗱𝗏 said happy. All Might, now for the 1st place I give you Izumi Yagi because of her determination and her ways to use her power. She read the top spot for this year's sports festival. Congratulations Izumi. All Might hugged Izumi and put the medal on her. Izumi, thanks Dad. All Might, now this folks are your winner for this year's sports festival, and for the students, don't be discouraged and use this as a motivation to go beyond. Plus everyone, 𝗬𝗚𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗏. All Might then jumped off. Izuku approached the 3 girls. Izuku, congrats you 3, you made me proud. Izumi, 𝗧𝗱𝗏𝗏, 𝗧𝗵𝗃, thank you Oni-chan/𝐒𝐮𝐦𝐽𝐽𝐽𝐽𝐽. The 3 hugged Izuku. Teary eyes. Izuku, oh wait, let go for a bit girls, I need to do something. The 3 let go, but they were pouting, not wanting to let go of Izuku. Izuku, I will be back. Izuku then teleported in a room. Kasuki and 𝗧𝗱𝗏 were being held inside the room and both were shouting 𝗧𝗍𝗍, let us go you f 𝗧𝗱𝗏. Fuck you Deku, this is all your fault. Izuku, is it really? Izuku appeared in the room. 𝗧𝗍𝗍, what are you doing here you? Izuku, isi. Izuku shut 𝗧𝗍𝗍's mouth. Izuku, now you two may be wondering why I am here. I am here because I haven't got my revenge on you two yet, and someone else needs to have their revenge too, so night for a bit. Izuku knocked both 𝗧𝗍𝗍 and 𝗧𝗱𝗏 out and teleported them to the chambers in the void and replaced them with a clone. Izuku, now that's done. Izuku then teleported out of the room. Izuku came back and saw Rimuru and 𝗃 were waiting for him. Izuku, Richan. Izuku waved at them and hugged them. Rimuru, so you did it 𝗍𝗏. Izuku, yeah, and oh, I told someone to meet me outside of you. 𝗃, was it the girl that you talk with? Izuku, yes. Rimuru, well then go meet her, we will be at the palace. 𝗃, yes, and I will prepare weapons for your torture. Izuku, thanks Richan-san, I will go now. See you at the void. Rimuru and 𝗃 then teleported. Izuku now went outside of you and saw Hina waiting for him. Izuku, sorry if I made you wait. Hina-san. Hina, It's okay Izuku-san, I didn't wait for too long Izuku. Thanks, now hold my shoulder. Hina was confused and 𝗬𝗧 went on and hold his shoulder, then suddenly both of them disappeared at the torture chambers in the void. Izuku and Hina appeared in the room and Hina saw both Katsuki and Shoto, who was knocked her raged boiled as she saw both of them. Izuku, now you have a chance to have your revenge on them. Hina. Thank you Izuku-san, thank you so much. Shoto and Katsuki then woke up and saw they were being chained. Izuku, well, they're awake now, I will leave and let you do your revenge, so see ya. Izuku then left the torture chambers hearing a shout of both Shoto and Katsuki who were being tortured by Hina. Izuku then went to the throne room and saw Rimuru and 𝗂𝗍 talking. Izuku, 𝗧𝗵𝗃, I have a favor to ask. Rimuru, you wanna revive the girl, don't you? Izuku nodded. Rimuru, okay, I will. Do it. Rimuru, 𝗂𝗍, can you travel back to the past and take the soul of Kami Utsushimi when she die? 𝗂𝗍 nodded and went back, and for a few minutes 𝗂𝗍 came back with a orb. Rimuru then made a homunculus for the soul to inhabit Rimuru. Now let's start. Izuku stepped back and Rimuru pulled his hands out and did the ritual. The soul then went inside the homunculus and started changing its appearance, and finally it was done. Where am I? I died. Why am I here? I was in my room moments ago. Izuku, yes you did, Miss Kami, but we revived you mostly. 𝗵𝗃 did. Kami, why? Izuku, 'cause someone dear to you missed you, and also she is torturing the on who wronged the both of you. Kami's eyes widened. Kami, where is she? Hina. Izuku, I'll teleport you there. Kami, and thank you for resurrecting me and gave me a chance to be with Hina. Izuku then teleported the both of them to the chambers and saw Katsuki and Shoto disfigured. Hina. Oh Izuku-san, you 𝗧𝗍. Hina stopped and looked at the girl beside Izuku. She was very familiar to her. Hina's eyes quickly teared up and she ran to her. Hina, 𝗧𝗍. She hugged Kami. Kami, Hina, I am so sorry I left you all alone. I am so sorry. Kami cried, apologizing to Hina. Hina, it's okay, and I have something to tell you. Kami, what is it? Hina. Hina, I love you. Kami. Ever since you rescued me from the bullies and became my first best friend, you were always so kind to me and caring, and I started to fall for you. Kami was silent and Hina thought that Kami didn't liked her back but was suddenly kissed by Kami. Kami, I love you too. Hina, when the first time I met you I have always loved you, but I was afraid you would turn me down. Both kiss again. Izuku, congratulations you too. Hina, Izuku-san, thank you so much for bringing her back. Izuku, it wasn't me, it was my fiancé Rimuru. Hina, well then I will thank her, but thank you for giving me chance to have my revenge on them. Izuku, no problem, I will go now. You Kami, do you want to stay with Hina and torture these two? Kami, with pleasure. Izuku, well then I leave you two to it. Izuku then tossed a full healing potion to both Katsuki and Shoto. Izuku then left, and again shouts of Katsuki and Shoto were heard, and also the laugh of the two girls in love at each other. Izuku, it's been 2 days since the sports festival and things are going great so far. Kami got reunited with her parents and she got her revenge on 𝗵𝗃𝗲 and Todoroki, who are still on the torture chamber, and the Yagis. 𝗵𝗃𝗲s and Todorokis are visiting today. They know that Shoto and Katsuki are here, so I will let them talk to the both of them. Rimuru, Quinn, you seem to have your mind somewhere, 𝗵𝗃 said while eating. Izuku, it's just today they will visit here and I will have my talk with her today, so yeah, I am a bit nervous. 𝗂𝗍, don't be nervous Izuku, and both me and 𝗧𝗍 are here for you, mostly me, 𝗧𝗏 said, kissing me on my cheeks. Rimuru, oi anger symbol. 𝗂𝗍, het smirks. Rimuru, did you just smirks? 𝗂𝗍, it's just your imagination. Izuku/Rimuru, it is always that line. My phone then suddenly rings. I checked and see Izumi's message. Izumi, Oni-chan, all of them are here now. Izuku, okay Izumi, I'll be there in a sec. Izumi, okay, see ya. Izuku, 𝗵𝗃, I have to go pick them up, so see ya in a sec. Rimuru, okay, see you 𝗵𝗃. 𝗂𝗍, see you Izuku. I then teleported RD person POV in the Yagi apartment. Everyone was there, the Todoroki family, 𝗵𝗃𝗲 family, and the Yagis. They were getting ready to meet with Izuku and visit Izuku's house. What they didn't know is that Izuku is living in a castle except for Izumi, Shoka, and Katsumi, who lived there. Inko, Izumi, text your brother that we're ready. Izumi, okay mom. Ray, I wonder why Izuku needs to teleport us there. I mean, we can drive there, right? Izumi, it's really far, Auntie Ray. Izumi said while texting Izuku. Katsumi, really Shoka, really far mom. Izumi, okay, I am done texting Oni-chan, he should be here any second now. Izuku then appears behind them in the room. Izumi, weird, he should be here by now. Izuku, I am. Everyone, that's everyone, jumped back scared. Everyone, you scared us? Izuku just shrugged his shoulder. Izuku, So are you guys ready, everyone? Yes, Izuku. Well then hold my shoulder all of you. They then hold Izuku's shoulder, then they all vanished in thin air in the void. Izuku and company arrived at the void castle. Everyone was looking at their surroundings, speechless of the beauty and also shocked that Izuku lived in a castle. Everyone except Izumi, Shoka, and Katsumi, you live in a castle. Izuku, didn't the three told you? Izumi, we didn't tell them because we want them to be surprised. Katsumi and Shoka nodded. Enji, how can they even afford this? Enji said, looking at the black marbled wall with gold linings. He looked shocked, speechless, and amazed. Shoka, Dad, you forgot Izuku's girlfriends are literally goddess. Enji, oh yeah, I forgot. Enji puts his hand on G back of his head. Tuya then turned his phone on and took a picture. He then turned his data on and got on HeroTube to post this place, but he couldn't. Tuya, Izuku, is the reception here really bad? Izuku, oh, there's no signal here. Tuya, what, that can't beat. Izuku, oh, I forgot to tell you we are not in Earth. Everyone, WATTT? Everyone shocked. Izuku, we are actually in the void. Mitsuki, how can we even breathe? Izuku, that's because of the castle's wall. You see, each wall is connected from another dimension and the air travels here, so yeah, that's why. Everyone again was shocked and very confused. Another dimension. Air travel. They didn't get what Izuku said, but they were still shocked that they could breathe because of the wall. Tashinori and Enji just stayed close to the wall to breathe. Izuku, let's go to the dining room. Richan and San are there. Everyone then followed Izuku while Enji and Tashinori followed him, but they stayed close to the wall. Ray, Enji, come here, stop being a baby. Ray glared at Enji, making him shiver. Enji, Enji then go towards Ray, slowly, not wanting to be far from the wall. Inko, Toshi, come here and behave. Inko also glared at Tashinori, making him flinch. Tashinori, dear 𝗵𝗃 fine he dash. Tashinori was suddenly pulled towards Inko. Tashinori tried to fight off Inko's telekinesis but failed. Ultimately, Tashinori, no please, I need the wall. All Might kept trying to break free to Inko's quirk but stopped when he saw Inko's cold glare. Inko, dear, behave or else. Tashinori finally gave up and just walked behind Inko. Izuku, so guys, we're finally here. Izuku opened the door. And then they saw Rimuru and Seal eating. Rimuru, hi everyone, nice to see you all again. Rimuru smiled at them. Seal, hi. Seal said without expression. Everyone, just hi. Izuku, I know you still don't have lunch, so I prepared foods for you. All foods then appeared on the table. Izuku, go sit, all of you. You can choose whatever you want to eat. Tuya, Enji, Mitsuki, Masaru, Tashinori and Natsu quickly ran towards the food and started eating but quickly stopped as they were being glared by three women: Rei, Inko, Fuyumi, while Izumi, Shoka and Katsumi went and talked to Rimuru and Seal. Girls, behave or else. The three girls glared at the men, the boys except for Masaru. The bees started eating slowly while Mitsuki and Masaru was getting all the food they can get. The boys, lucky, they mumbled but was heard by the girls. The girls, what did you say? The boys, hikik and nothing, with Izumi, Shoka and Katsumi. Katsumi, Shoka, Izumi, Rimuru-chan and Seal-san, can we talk? Rimuru, sure, what do you want to talk about? Izumi, not here. Rimuru, I'm okay. Rimuru and Seal then got up and went to quiet place in the castle with Izumi, Shoka and Katsumi. Rimuru, so what do you want to talk about? Izumi, Shoka, Katsumi, it's about Oni-chan / 𝗧𝗵𝗵𝗃 / 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗃. Seal, you want to join Izukuin's HRM? Seal bluntly said without emotions. The three girls nodded. Rimuru, so you want to ask our permission to join? Why not just go to Izuku? Izumi, because we want to ask your permission and it would be disrespectful for us to ask him without asking you too. Katsumi and Shoka nodded. Rimuru, oh, so that's why. Well, I am okay with it, but I don't know with Seal. Seal, Izumi, Katsumi, Shoka, we will earn your permission, Seal-san, even if it takes a very long time to earn it and possibly become close with you. Rimuru, Seal, just stop it already. They already proved their love to Izuku. Seal, 𝗵𝗃 ruined it. I was trying to act cool. Rimuru, this girl, sigh. Well, what do you say? Seal, do you agree in giving them permission? Seal, fine, but if you hurt Izuku again, I will hurt you million times more. Seal said, releasing her aura while glaring at the three. Izumi, Katsumi, Shoka, we will never hurt him again, we promise. The three girls smiled, trying to withstand the aura. Seal, okay then. Seal then stopped her aura and the three girls dropped from the ground. Rimuru, no, Seal, that was too much. Seal, no, I was only showing them who's superior and number one to Izukuin's heart, Seal said with a smug grin on her face. The three got irritated a bit but quickly smiled to Seal. Rimuru, Sigh, well then when are you three gonna confess? Rimuru just asked the three, not wanting to argue with Seal, knowing she will only lose Izumi. We don't know when, Rimuru. Ah well, good luck, I will be rooting for you three. After the five girls went back to the dining area and eat time skip after they ate, Izuku gave them tour around the castle, and it was now time for the family to meet Katsuki and Shoto. They were walking towards the torture chamber, and a few minutes they finally arrived. Izuku, are you guys ready? The Todorokis and Bakugos nodded their head, and Izuku opened the huge door and all of them went in and saw Shoto and Katsuki chained up. Katsuki and Shoto see their family and smile. Katsuki, Mom, Dad and Katsumi, please help me get out of this chains. Shoto, Mama Papa Nichan's, Nachan and Shoka free me. Shoto trying to act scared. Ray, and why would we unchain you, Shoto, after what you did to your sister and to the two other girls? Answer me why I never taught you that, and even Enji before he turned into this never taught you this. Ray broke down crying. His son then smiled. Shoto, ha ha ha, yeah, you never taught me, I taught myself how to be a god and I become one. They should have shut themselves up. When I get free I will be killing those two. 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 punched Shoto in the stomach using his quirk. Shoto, eh? Shoto shouted in pain. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, hope you burn in hell. 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 whispered into his ears and now was going back to his Kothia. Ray and his little sister Fuyumi, who was crying on the ground, comforting them. Enji, Shoto, we already disowned you from the Todoroki family and you will pay for the crimes you did in here, and I hope you will learn your lessons. Shoto, what, you can't do this to me, I am your god, you can't now free me. Free 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃, Shoto shouted in rage. Ray slapped Shoto hard in the face. Ray, goodbye Shoto. The Todoroki family then left, shouting. Shoto meanwhile with the Bakugwa. Mitsuki, why did you do it? Katsuki, Katsuki, what? Mitsuki, why did you RP Katsumi and the other two girls? Why we didn't raise you to be like this? Katsuki, cause I love it, I am a god and they should have been a grateful like they should be. Katsuki shouted and was shocked at what happens next. Slap. Mitsuki slapped Katsuki, making Katsuki shocked, looking at her mother in the eyes, but they were only hatred and pity inside the mother's eye. No love. Mitsuki, then stay here, I hope you get what you deserve and we disown you, and don't call me mother ever again, even if we don't see each other forever, cause I will not be seeing you again, nor our family will be seeing you again. Goodbye. Mitsuki ran crying out of the door. Katsumi, I hope you get what you deserved. Masaru and Katsumi then chased Mitsuki with the Yagi and Inko. Izuku, Izumi, can you go to Richan and Sang? Izumi nodded, knowing that Izuku and her mom and dad needs to have a talk with him, and left. Toshinori, I should go too, this is between you two and Izuku, I hope you forgive Inko. Toshinori was about to leave but was stopped by Izuku. Izuku, no, stay here. Toshinori smiled a bit but quickly withdrew the smile and stayed for a few minutes. There was silence. The two parents were very awkward, not knowing how to start a conversation with Izuku. Izuku, I will start first. You two, you freaking neglect me for not having a quirk. Do you know how hard it was to just get by? I have to get a job to our neighbors just to buy clothes, bed and school stuff. You know how hard it was for me. I had to cook for myself. Tell me, why did you neglect me? Was I not good enough before? Tell me why. And you were quirkless just like me and you still neglect me, knowing how people do to me, your son. Why did you neglect me? Why did you ignore and abandon me? Why? Izuku shouted. Tears were in his eyes, looking both at his former parents who were also crying on the ground. Inko, it's because I was scared. I was insecure to myself and afraid that I might fail as a parent, and I didn't know what to do too that lead me to neglect you and forgetting you, and I was too late to realize you were already gone. I cried day and night trying to get these things back the way before. I kept trying to find any memories of you, and it hurts me that I did those things to you. It tore me apart. I never meant to neglect, forget and abandon you. I love you too much to do that, and yet I did, and I am very sorry. Izuku, I am so sorry. Inko shouted, crying, kneeling on her knees, sobbing on the ground. Toshinori, I know I failed you. I failed Maya, and I failed to keep my promise I made to the 𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃 of a father of mine. I promised not to abused and neglect my child, and what I did the very same thing he did. I know not amount of sorry won't make you forgive, and I am fine with that. But just I hope you forgive Inko. She suffered because of me and my ignorance. She suffered because of my failures in my life. Even if you won't forgive me, just please forgive Inko. I don't care if you won't see me as a father again, even though I never was, but I beg of you, please forgive Inko. And for your question, I have no answer. I did what I did and it's in the past, and I will move on, learn and repent from it. Toshinori bowed down to Izuku, crying. Toshinori saw his wife Inko suffering and he knew It was his fault, and he wants to try and help 𝗵𝗀 earn Izuku's forgiveness, while he will earn Izuku's forgiveness on his own, not wanting to burden 𝗵𝗀 any more of his problems. 𝗵𝗃 looked 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗏 and hugged him. Izuku, Dad. Izuku finally hugged both of his mother and father 𝗵𝗀/Toshi. Son, the three cried and hugged each other, not knowing they were being watched by them. All of them were crying. Izumi, Mom, Dad. Izumi said, crying. Rimuru, he finally released all of it. Rimuru said, wiping her tears. Seal, yes, 𝗵𝗃 now Izuku can finally be free from the shackles of his past. Seal, who was wiping her tears, too, back with Izuku. After a few minutes of staying still hugging each other, they broke each other's hugged, and Izuku smiled at them for the first time. Izuku, "Come out, guys, I know you're there." 𝗵𝗀 and 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗏 were confused, but the door opened and 𝗬𝗲 the Todorokis, the Bakugos, Izumi, Rimuru and Seal. Izuku, Izumi, why are you just standing there? Come here. Izumi ran and hugged the three of them. Izumi, Wawa, I am sorry, Dad, because of me. If I just didn't bully Oniai-chan before, he wouldn't have jumped. I am so sorry. Izumi cried and kept saying sorry to his parents. 𝗵𝗀, it's not your fault, Izumi. We were the one who neglected Izuku, and we paid the price of it. 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗏, yes, Izumi, and I am glad that we earned Izuku's forgiveness, even if we don't deserve it. Izuku, and I still haven't forgiven you about being quirkless like me. Izuku glared at 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗏. I know, and I will earn your forgiveness. And Rimuru and Seal, thank you for being there for Izuku and helped him get strong and be the man that he is right now, and I am very sorry. 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗏 bowed at the both of them. Rimuru, rise. 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗏, it's okay, we forgive you, but let me warn you, to hurt Ikuen's feelings again and I will hurt you. 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗏, hi, she has the same vibe as 𝗵𝗀. I hope you survive when you get married to both of them. Izuku, my son. Then suddenly a growl can be heard, and the source of the growl was NG. He was hungry. Everyone was looking at him deadpan. NG, what? NG looked at all of them, now knowing why they are looking at him. Everyone, never mind. Izuku, so Mom, Dad and everyone, do you want to stay here? Tuya, hell yeah, I will stay here. Everyone then looked at Tuya. What? Everyone, nothing, like father like son. Izu, well, how about you guys? Everyone, we would love to. Then in the void laughter can be heard, and once a broken family was now finally completed. 𝗵𝗀, Izuku, I love you, my baby boy. When will I have grand babies to spoil? I want to spoil them so much. 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗏 sweat dropped at his wife's antics. Izuku, it's too early for that. Izuku blushed, and so was Rimuru, and Seal, and also Izumi, Katsumi, and Shoka, who were planning to confess to Izuku. 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗏, why yes, sweetie, it's too early. No, my money will be gone. 𝗵𝗀, what did you say? Toshi, glaring coldly at 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗏, ecchi, nothing, dear. They both have similar vibe. I hope you survive after marriage, my son. 𝗵𝗀, good. 𝗵𝗀 then smiled and everyone laughed. Somewhere in Kamino Ward inside a lab there was one man with many medical devices attached to him. That man was All Might's nemesis, All for One, and in front was a Nomu, not just any Nomu but a high-end Nomu lying on the ground. All for One, you sure about this, Yuki? Yes, All for One. Okay, well, you can go in that body now. Yuki, who was in All for One's body at that time, transferred into the Nomu's body. The body then began to change Yuki. Finally fresh air and a fresh new world to rule. Yuki smiled wickedly. Yuki, there will be no more Rimuru to deal with, only some puny heroes. But what Yuki doesn't know that Rimuru and Seal were in that world, but both agreed on letting Izuku handle Yuki. A week after Izuku and his parents talk, both of Izuku's parents, All Might and 𝗵𝗀, left the old apartment where they live in now in the void, trying to get close to Izuku and Izumi as much as possible. Rimuru and Seal got closer with 𝗵𝗀 and 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗏 and calls Rimuru and Seal daughter-in-law, or what 𝗵𝗀 calls them, baby girl. Now Izuku was in his classroom with Izumi. Izumi, what do you think we're gonna do today, Oniai-chan? Izuku, I think it will be our internship. Izumi, YATT? We're gonna be working with heroes. Izumi jumped in excitement, making the others in the classroom confused. Aizawa, Izumi, sit back down and all of you shut up. Aizawa went in the classroom and glared at his students. Class 1A. But we were quiet. Aizawa, still shut up. I have an announcement to make. Since Katsuki and Shoto are arrested for they did and Mineta dropped down to general class, we will have 3 new students coming in today. Now you 3 come in. The class were excited having new classmates. 𝗧𝗏, I hope there are girls. 𝗧𝗏 said, thinking something lewd. 3 people then walked in. There were 2 girls and 1 guy, and Izuku smiled at the 3 of them. Hitoshi, Hi, I am Hitoshi 𝗫𝗄 from the general course and nice to meet you all. 𝗫𝗄 bowed. Izuku looked at 𝗫𝗄 and smiled at him. Izuku, make sure to remember what I told you, Izuku said looking at 𝗫𝗄, and 𝗫𝗄 nodded. 𝗫𝗄, I will never forget it. 𝗫𝗄 looked Izuku in his eyes full with determination. 𝗵𝗃, well, it's my turn. Hi guys, totes to meet you. I am 𝗵𝗃 and I hope we click well. 𝗬𝗲 raised his hands up. 𝗵𝗃, yes. 𝗬𝗲, are you single? 𝗬𝗲 asked and gained a slap from Azui. 𝗵𝗃, no, I am with someone already. All the boys except Izuku and Kaminari were sad. 𝗃𝗓, and it's me. Hi, nice to meet you guys. I am 𝗃𝗓 Satoshi and I am glad to be here with you all. 𝗃𝗓, what are your quirks? 𝗵𝗃, well, my quirk is called glamour. I can cast visual and auditory illusions by puffing a smoke or cloud-like substance from my mouth, and I can mimic a person with my quirk. 𝗃𝗓, that is so cool. Can you turn into someone here? 𝗵𝗃, sure. 𝗵𝗃 then turns into 𝗧𝗱, making the class amazed and amused. 𝗵𝗃 then turned back to herself. 𝗃𝗓, now my quirk is mist, where I can create and manipulate mist to my will. 𝗬𝗲, what can you do with your mist? 𝗃𝗓, well, I can make a sword, can cut metals like a butter, and can cover the whole area with mist. 𝗓𝗏, you're so powerful, so manly. 𝗫𝗄, my quirk is called brainwash, where if I ask people question and they answer, I can control their mind. 𝗫𝗄 was expecting to be discriminated, but he was not. Class 1A praised his quirk. Kaminari, with that quirk catching villains would be easy. Lucky. Momo, I agree with that, crimes will lower more. That's a great quirk. 𝗫𝗄 was shocked. This was the second time that people not bashing him because of his quirk but actually praised him. He smiled knowing that this will be a great year for him. Aizawa, now that the introduction's done, you three can sit the vacant places. The three nodded. 𝗵𝗃 and 𝗃𝗓 sit next to each other and 𝗫𝗄 was put next to Ochako Uraraka. Aizawa, okay, now that is done. Class, today you will be making your own hero name, and to make sure that the names you made is right or dash. Aizawa was cut off by woman who is coming inside the classroom. Midnight, it will be hell for you. Midnight then came inside the classroom, making the guys flustered because of her outfit and girls jealous of her big assets. Aizawa, Midnight will help you choose your hero names, and now I warn you, choose your hero names wisely or you'll suffer the consequences. Izuku and Izumi suddenly laughed, which made Aizawa's eye twitch, and the class confused. Shoka, why are you guys laughing? Shoka asked the two who was laughing. HRD on the floor. Izuku, it's because of Aizawa-sensei's hero name. Izuku said, who was still on the floor laughing. Katsumi, what about his hero name? Izumi, present Mike gave him his hero name because he looked like a Eraserhead. Izumi also on the floor laughing while the class was trying hard not to release a laugh. Meanwhile, Aizawa was fuming. Angry. Aizawa, you two will be in detention for 4 hours today, and I will make your assignments and activities a lot harder. Izuku and Izumi stood up and both weren't fazed of Aizawa's threat. Izuku, then you will not get to see Izumi doing Naruto, right my dear Muto? Izuku smirked looking at Aizawa. Izumi, hi Oni-chan, Uncle Aizawa won't be able to see me doing any skills from Naruto again. Izumi also smirked and looks at Aizawa, who went pale. Aizawa, fine, you win this time. Aizawa went to his sleeping bag and sleep while the rest of the class looked shocked. Izuku, what are you guys looking at? Class 1A, what do you mean what you just defeated Aizawa-sensei? Izuku, geez, you guys are so loud. Class 1A, we're sorry. Midnight, now class, go back to your sits. All of the students went back to their seat and all were given a whiteboard and a marker. Midnight, now all of you will be writing your hero names in the whiteboard that is provided and presented in front of the class. Now you may start. The class then started thinking their hero name and were writing it in their hero name time skip. Midnight, okay class, present your hero names now. The first one who came up was Shoka Todoroki. Shoka, my hero name will be the icy hot heroine, Flaming Blizzard. Midnight, very good, accepted, using both of your powers as your name. Shoka nodded and went back to her seat, and then Katsumi went up. Katsumi, this will be my hero name, the explosive heroine, Ground Beta. Midnight, wonderful, accepted. Soon everyone then came and started to present their names. Meanwhile, Izuku looked at Lida and was worried he might do something. Izuku, I have to talk to him later. Time skip. Everyone already presented their names except for Kaminari, Izumi and Izuku, who haven't presented their names yet. Midnight, now the ones left are Izuku, Izumi and Kaminari, so which of you three would go first? Kaminari, I will. Kaminari then stand us up and went in front of classroom. My hero name will be the Lightning God. Raikon, the class and Midnight were amazed by Kaminari's name, and Kaminari went back to his seat, and now it was Izumi's turn. Izumi, this will be my hero name, the telekinetic heroine. Tatsumi. I combined my hero name with my favorite character in One Punch Man 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗵𝗃. So cute. Accepted. Now Izuku, it's your turn. Izuku then got up and went to the front. Izuku. This will be my hero name, the elemental devourer. Cows. Midnight. Good. Izuku, now you may go back to your seat. All of his classmates cheered for Izuku's name and sang how awesome his name is. Aizawa. Finally, you're all finished. Now all of you will be choosing your hero agency to intern. Last year, just like right now, everyone was confused why is I spread out when they didn't even get to show off their skills. Aizawa then turned the screen on and it showed the students' number of offers they got. But there was no Izuku, Izumi, Shoka and Katsumi. Kirishima. Sensei, why is their name there? They were the ones who really showed their talents, so why aren't they there? Kirishima asked Aizawa. Because these four will be working together with the old pro hero in capturing 𝗧𝗍𝗪 the hero killer. All of their classmates were shocked. Even the four were shocked cause they didn't knew Aizawa. So you four get out of here immediately and meet your guardian or partner. He will be in the teacher's facility with your father Izumi and Izuku. The four then went out of the classroom saying goodbyes to their classmates while their classmates were saying good luck to them and cheering them. Izuku, who do you think will be our partner? Izuku asked the three girls who were walking beside him. Shoka, maybe Dad or Tsunai. Katsumi, do you think it's Auntie Inko? Izumi, no, but I think it's Grandpa Torino. Izuku, yeah, me too. The four then continued walking to the teacher's lounge and after a few minutes they arrive. Izuku knocks. Hello, we were sent here by Aizawa-sensei. The door then opened revealing a shaking All Might Izuku/Izumi. Yep, guessed it. Izuku and Izumi were looking at a terrified shaking All Might. Shoka, Uncle, are you okay? Katsumi, Uncle, why do you look scared? All Might, and nothing. It's Jay just dashed. Before All Might could finish, someone cuts him off. Let them in, Tashinori, I want to see them. All Might, hikik ai. All Might then let the four in. Izuku and Izumi then ran towards a short man who was wearing a yellow cape and a black mask holding a cane. Izuku/Izumi, Grandpa? Izuku and Izumi was about to hug him when suddenly he dodged both of them and kicked both of their heads. Grand Torino, we need to work on your reactions and good to see you too. Izuku and Izumi. Izuku/Izumi, itai. Izuku and Izumi both said, rubbing the back of their heads. Grand Torino, now Tashinori, you can leave. I need to speak with the four. All Might nodded and left. He was relieved that he could leave. Grand Torino, now you four sit down. I need to talk to you about this mission. All four of them sit down. Grand Torino, now about this mission. Our mission is to catch 𝗧𝗍𝗪 and also the League of Villains. We have gained intel that 𝗧𝗍𝗪 is working with them. We don't know why, but I personally believe that he is controlled. I know 𝗧𝗍𝗪 before he became what he is now, and that man is stubborn in his belief, and I know he won't just follow someone's order if it goes against his belief. Izuku, so we will be fighting 𝗧𝗍𝗪 and the League. Grand Torino, yes, Nizu and the Hero Association chose you four because you have displayed skills higher than other pros and your teamwork is one of the best I have seen so far. So what do you say? Want to help this old man catching them? Izuku, Grandpa, I will join you. Izumi, me too. Grandpa. Shoka and Katsumi, us too, we will join. Grand Torino, good, now prepare your stuff, meet me outside. You, tomorrow. And Izuku, Izumi, nice to see you too again. Grand Torino then got up and leave. Izuku, well, this will be our first big mission. I'm kinda excited. Izumi, I am nervous. What if we fail? Izuku, no, we're not. I will make sure of it. Shoka, I will go home now. I will prepare my stuff. Izuku, no, I will teleport you to there. Izuku then hold both Shoka and Katsumi and disappeared and appeared again. Izumi, I thought you forgot about me. Izuku, never, I only teleported them home. Now are you ready? Izumi, yes. Izuku and Izumi then teleported to the void. Meanwhile, All Might, did they just left me? How can I go back to the void? Izuku then appeared again and hold Tashinori and teleported both of them to the void. Inko, my baby's back. Inko ran and hugged both of them. Izuku, we're not be babies anymore, said Izuku, embarrassed about Inko babying both of them. Izumi, why Tashinori, why Inko there already? dash. Before All Might could speak, he was met with a cold glare from Inko. Inko, what did you say, dear? Glaring at All Might, who paled. All Might, and nothing. First. Grand Torino, now her. All Might cried. Izuku, reach on. Izuku hugged both Rimuru and 𝗂𝗪 and kissed the two on the lips. Rimuru, how was your day, Aikun? Izuku, it was awesome. Guess what's 𝗂𝗪? What, Izuku-an? Izumi, me, Oni-chan, Kat-chan and Shoka are gonna have our first big mission with Grandpa. Izuku, Izumi, you ruined my surprise. 𝗂𝗪, what is the mission all about? Izuku-an, Izuku, Well, the mission is to stop the hero killer Stain and the League of Villains before the internship ends. Rimuru, will you be okay? 𝗂𝗏, you know Yuki might show himself up. Izuku, I will be okay, and when he does me I will try to defeat him if I can. Rimuru, just be safe. Okay, Yuki is a crafty one. I only won against him because 𝗧𝗏 was smarter than him. 𝗧𝗏, without me 𝗵𝘃𝗲 would perish. Rimuru decided to ignore 𝗧𝗏, who was trying to annoy her. 𝗃𝗏, who decided this? Izuku, it was Uncle Nizu and the Hero Commission. 𝗃𝗏, those? Izumi, Mom, don't get mad, we are fine with it, plus we are strong too, we can protect ourselves. 𝗃𝗏, but Izuku, she's right Mom, and if we will be in danger I will teleport all of us out of there and into here, so don't worry. 𝗃𝗏 sighed in relief but was still worried that they might get hurt. 𝗃𝗏 and Toshinori then left to prepare for dinner. Izuku, so how was Mom? Rimuru, she was good, she kept asking if we want anything, and also we saw your 𝗵𝗲𝗍𝗃 photos with Izumi, you're so cute. 𝗂𝗏, yeah, Izuku and mother-in-law showed us videos of you and Izumi taking a bath. Izuku, 𝗬𝗏𝗍𝗃, Mom showed you that? Izuku blushed red in embarrassment, and so was Izumi. Rimuru, you were so cute. 𝗂𝗏, Izuku, how about you? 𝗧𝗏 was about to say something until Izuku cuts him off. Izuku, no dame, I know what you're gonna ask for 𝗧𝗏, and no, I do not want go back to being a baby. Rimuru laughs and 𝗧𝗏 pouted she couldn't see a baby. Izuku, while Izumi was thinking of a baby. Izuku giggling. 𝗃𝗏, guys, dinner is ready. All of them then went to the dining area. All of them ate together, talked and laughed like how a family should. Meanwhile, somewhere in a bar, Shigaraki, Stain, I order you to attack Hosu City again in 4 days' time, and this time bring those nomus with you. Stain, hi Shigaraki-sama. Stain bowed. Meanwhile, in a lab, Yuki, I am almost back from my full strength, and once I got that back I will kill all of those heroes and rule this world and possibly take my revenge against that wretched slime, said Yuki, who was gaining his powers back. All for one. I believe you will, Yuki, but once you will I will take over that body of yours. Ahaha. I am sure you will, Yuki, but don't forget me. Yuki, I will never. Once I rule this world I will take that power of yours and turn it into something more powerful, a power that can steal any kind of powers. Haha, I will soon kill that slime, just you wait. Rimuru, it was the start of the internship. Izuku, Izumi, Katsumi, and Shoko were already out patrolling with Gran Torino a week early than their classmate Gran Torino. Now kids, did you find anything on your side? Gran Torino spoke through the earpiece. Izumi, nothing on my and Kao's side. Katsumi, nothing on our side too. Katsumi is patrolling with Shoka. The four were partnered by two and investigated or patrolled each side of Hosu City looking for any clues about the whereabouts of the LOV and Stain. Gran Torino, damn it, we only have a week left. Okay, that's it for now, we'll continue in the afternoon. Hi. The communication then turned off. Gran Torino, wait for me, old friend, I will save you. Gran Torino looks at the city and starts going back to his house. Meanwhile, with Izuku and Izumi, Nichan. Izumi ran to Izuku, who was looking down on the rooftop of a building. Izuku, Tatsumi, you shouldn't call me that when we're on patrol. Izumi, hi, sorry cows. Gran Torino said we should go back for now. Izuku, okay. Izumi and Izuku then went down to the building and walked through Gran Torino's house or agency. While walking, Izuku noticed someone was following them. Izuku, do you feel that, Tatsumi? Izuku asked Izumi in a low tone. Tatsumi, hi, it has been following us for a few minutes. Izuku answered, also in a low tone, not wanting to make the person following them leave. Izuku, Tatsumi, I have a plan. Izumi, what is it? 𝗂𝗏. Izuku then began telling Izumi with his plan. Izuku and Izumi then began walking and kept turning on buildings and crossing roads, and the person was still following them, and they then turned and walked towards a dark alley. The person followed and went in the dark alley, but as he follows our two heroes, he saw both of them disappeared in flames. He then noticed it was a trap, but it was too late as he was being held by Izumi by her telekinesis and Izuku's elemental binding. Izuku, who are you and why are you following us? Both Izumi and Izuku showed up from the shadows. You both are powerful, you can sense me so easily. Izuku's face darkened as he recognized the voice. It was the voice he heard from the memory he saw in Shigaraki's mind. Izuku, why are you here? Yuki Kagurasaka. Yuki, oh, so you know me, did that wretched slime told you? Izuku, how did you know? Izuku widened his eyes as Yuki know that Rimuru is here. Yuki, you think I'm weak to not notice that slime? Izumi, Nichan, who is he? Izumi asked Izuku, this is one of Richan's enemy. He tried to take over the Cardinal World, got defeated by Richan and escaped by cutting his soul. Yuki, Give him a round of applause, bravo. Yuki suddenly stand up and clapped, ignoring Izumi and Izuku's bindings. Both were now cautious, taking a fighting stance. Yuki, whoa, I am not here to fight. Even if we do, know you can't beat me. Izuku grits his teeth in anger as he know he can't beat Yuki with his current strength. Izuku, if you're not looking for a fight, then why are you here? Izuku glared at Yuki. Yuki, geez, what's with the glare? Izuku, just get on with it. Yuki, hi, I only came here to see what that slime sees in you, and I am very disappointed. Izuku ignored Yuki's insult as he knows he is only provoking Izuku. Yuki, well, I will go now, sayonara. Yuki then disappeared. Izuku, Izumi, I need you to go back to 𝗵𝗃 and don't tell them about what happened now. Izumi, but Izuku, not now. Izumi, now go. Izumi, heights. Izumi then used her telekinesis and just flew away to 𝗵𝗃's place. Izuku then teleported to the void. Meanwhile, with Izumi, who was that guy? I felt Oniai-chan's anger. It was scary. I never felt or saw Oniai-chan this angry before. Izumi, though, while flying towards to 𝗵𝗃's place a few minutes later, she finally arrived, and when inside, she saw Katsumi, Shoka and 𝗵𝗃 waiting for them, but Izuku was not with her. Katsumi/Shoka, Izumi, both ran to Izumi and hugged her. Izumi, what happened? 𝗵𝗃, where the hell have you been and where is Izuku? Izumi, Oniai-chan went to go and buy some food. 𝗵𝗃, why is she lying? Sai. Izuku, where the hell are you? Okay, but why were you so late? You weren't answering your communication. Izumi, why? You see, I accidentally turned it off. 𝗵𝗃 noticed again Izumi lying to him, but this time Shoka and Katsumi noticed it too. Shoka, Izumi, why are you lying? Izumi, what do you mean? Izumi was now sweating buckets. Katsumi, Izumi, tell us what happened. Where is Izuku? Izumi, I said he went to the store to buy some food. 𝗵𝗃, Izumi. 𝗵𝗃 looks at Izumi, who was sweating more than Katsumi. Izumi, no, Oniai-chan told me not to tell you. 𝗵𝗃 just stops and went to his bedroom while the two girls kept bugging Izumi to tell them what happened with 𝗵𝗃. 𝗵𝗃, Izuku, what are you up to? 𝗵𝗃 looked at the top of his ceiling and laid down on his bed for a bit. Somewhere in Hosu City, a man was standing on top of a water tank, and with him was some bird creatures from USJ and another man with a katana on his back. Shigaraki, Hosu City, wait for your destruction. Shigaraki then walked through a portal followed by the Nomus and disappeared. Meanwhile, with Izuku just teleported in front of the dining area where he felt Rimuru and 𝗂𝗃. Where at Rimuru? Ikuin, why are you here so early? Is still your internship? Izuku, yes, and I need to talk to the both of you. Rimuru and 𝗂𝗃 noticed Izuku was very serious and felt a bit of anger coming from him. Rimuru, okay. Rimuru didn't know what to do. This was the first time he saw Izuku this serious and angry at the same time. Izuku, Yuki, I saw him. Rimuru, wet. How come I didn't know? Why at 𝗂𝗃 did you knew? 𝗂𝗃, hi, Mr. But Izuku said that he wants to be there to take care of Yuki, and even if he does attack Izuku, I was already preparing a universal level barrier in case Yuki attacks, but he didn't. Rimuru sighed in relief. Rimuru, still 𝗂𝗃, why didn't you tell me? 𝗂𝗃, cause if I told, later would be angry and would try to kill Yuki. No, will kill Yuki, but Izuku said he wants to be there to take care of him. Rimuru, but still you could have told me. So what happened when you encountered Yuki? Izuku then began telling Rimuru about their encounter. Rimuru, that demon brat, even if I am a slime I still kicked his butt. Rimuru said, angry at Yuki. Rimuru, 𝗂𝗃, how strong is Yuki now? 𝗂𝗃, he is now almost back at when you two fought, but 𝗵𝗃 still could kill him without trying. Rimuru, Ikuin, you have to prepare Yuki. Even though he is no match for me, he is to you, and don't let your guard down fighting him. He is crafty. Without 𝗂𝗃 I could have never beaten Yuki. He is that dangerous, so be careful. Izuku, I will reach on, don't worry, and I need to go back. 𝗵𝗃 might be angry how long I am gone. Izuku then kissed both 𝗂𝗃 and Rimuru. Izuku, bye you too, and I love you. 𝗂𝗃 and Rimuru, by Izuku/Ikuin, I love you. Izuku then disappeared 𝗵𝗃's place. Izuku then teleported outside of the building and went in and saw 𝗵𝗃, Shoka, Izumi, and Katsumi waiting for him. Izumi, Shoka, Katsumi, Oniai-chan/Izuku/Ikuin, the three ran and hugged him. 𝗵𝗃 kicked him in his head. 𝗵𝗃, demon kid, where were you and what did you tell to Izumi? Izuku, sorry grandpa, I had urgent thing to do, so that's why I told Izumi to go back alone. 𝗵𝗃, and what urgent thing did you do? Izuku, I will tell you later but not now. 𝗵𝗃 and just bonked Izuku again in the head. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁. Izuku rubbed his head. 𝗵𝗃𝗁. Okay, but you better tell me. Izuku nodded while rubbing his head. Izuku. So what are we doing now? And guys, could you please let go? Izuku looked at the three girls who was just hugging him tightly. Izumi, Shokat, Katsumi, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁. The three of them blushed. And let's go. 𝗵𝗃𝗁. We still have to patrol the other side of Hosu City. We will be going in 30 minutes from now. Izuku. Okay, just call me when we're ready. I will just take a little nap. Izuku POV. It is almost 2 days after our internship ends and we still didn't find their whereabouts. I am now with Izumi patrolling and also looking for clues to the whereabouts of Stain and League of Villains, especially him. I can't let him get more power. Izumi. Cows? Are you okay? You spaced out for a bit? Izumi looked at me with a worried look. Izuku. Oh, I am sorry. I am fine now. Let's continue to patrol. Izumi. Oh, okay. We then continued patrolling. I still feel Izumi is worried about me. I feel bad. I made her worried. Narrator POV. Both Izuku and Izumi continued to patrol their assigned area, helping people and also beating low-time thugs and villains along the way. Izuku. Tatsumi, let's go back. Izuku said to Izumi, who was buying a drink. Izumi. Coming. Izumi then paid the cashier. Then suddenly the earth shook and an explosion was heard not far from them. Izuku. Izumi, hurry. Izuku was already flying straight to where the explosion was coming from. Izumi then flew fast with her telekinesis, tailing Izuku. Izumi. What the heck was that explosion? Izumi and Izuku then arrived and saw buildings burning, and Izuku saw a familiar creature. Izuku. Izumi, help the civilians. I will put out the fires in the building. Izumi. Hi. Izumi then went down and started helping the civilians to get to safety. Izuku. Now, Izuku then started wiping the fires out of the buildings. After a few minutes, Izuku was finished and saw police and some heroes struggling to fight the Nomus. Izuku, duck. Izuku heard a familiar voice and saw a flaming arrow coming towards him. He quickly ducked. Izuku. Uncle, how are you? Izuku saw 𝗵𝗃𝗁 coming. 𝗵𝗃𝗁. Izuku, do you know that happened here? Izuku. I don't know. Me and Izumi were just in a store buying a drink. Suddenly we felt the ground shook and an explosion then occurred. Izuku then noticed Izumi hasn't come back for a few minutes now. Izuku. Hey uncle, did you see Izumi? I haven't seen her since she took off to help the civilians to get to safety. 𝗵𝗃𝗁. I didn't saw her. Why, is something wrong? Izuku. I don't know, but I got a very bad feeling. Hey guys, did you see my intern? Izuku looked at and saw Manuel and realized. Izuku. For F's sakes, 𝗧𝗧𝗟, unless I need you to do me a favor. 𝗵𝗃𝗁. Don't worry Izuku, I know and I got it from here, and go find him. He might be unto revenge. 𝗵𝗃𝗁 said at Izuku burning the Nomu's heads. Izuku then left in a hurry using his observation haki. He felt a dark, immense killing intent from the alley. He immediately went there and saw Shoka and Katsumi on the ground injured and passed out, as well as Lita and another hero named Native. Then he saw Izumi fighting Stain alone. Stain. You will not get in the way of my 𝗵𝗃𝗁's plan. Stain disappeared and appeared behind Izumi attempting to kill her. Izuku saw this and immediately dived down and kicked Stain into the wall. Izuku. What the F? Izumi, why didn't you call me? You could have been killed. Izumi. I am sorry Onion. Izumi was scared. She almost died. She stuttering, and Izuku saw this quickly hugged her. Izuku. I am sorry I shouted at you, but you need to go take Lita and the others outside the alley, and Lita, IF told you not to go after Stain. Look what happened, you got others injured. Lita looked down in shame knowing Izuku was right. Stain was now starting to get back up again. Izuku. Izumi, go now. Izumi. But what about why? Izuku. I said go now. Izumi then quickly left, bringing the others back to safety. Izumi. I will come back to help you. Izumi shouted. Izuku then felt a corrupted core inside Stain that was empowering and controlling Stain. Stain. How dare you get in the way of my 𝗵𝗃𝗁's plan? Stain rushed at Izuku holding his sword tightly. Izuku. This may take a while to get that core out of him. Izuku then started blocking Stain's attack. Meanwhile with Izumi. Izumi. Medics? Izumi arrived at a hospital. The nurses quickly went to Izumi and grabbed the others, placing them on a bed, quickly rushing them to a room. Izumi was about to leave to help Izuku when a nurse stopped her. Nurse. Miss, are you their guardian? Izumi. No, they are my classmates and I have to go. I will come back later. Izumi rushed off in a hurry. Meanwhile with Izuku. Izuku was still trying to get the core of off Stain without killing him. Stain. Sword technique. Bloody Night. Izuku. Elemental Bind. Soaring Wind. Izuku countered and blocked all of Stain's attack. Izuku. Cows Devour. Izuku then absorbed the corrupted energy off of Stain, weakening him. Stain dropped to the ground. Then suddenly Stain. Kill me, he will take over again, 𝗧𝗵𝗃. Stain was suddenly begging to be killed. Izuku. 𝗵𝗃 was right, you are being controlled. Well, I knew it when I felt that corrupted core inside you. Izuku then binds Stain to the earth. Stain. Kin no. How am I trapped here? The corrupted core took over Stain again. Izuku. Don't worry, you will be gone in a sec. Stain. Then I will just have to do this. Suddenly light began to illuminate in Stain's body. Izuku quickly went in far distance, taking cautions. Izuku. What the F is happening? Izuku muttered to himself. Then suddenly Stain's body began floating to the sky and it was getting bigger and bigger. Izuku then saw a blue scaly wing. Stain was tuned into a 𝗧𝗵𝗃. Izuku. Oh F me Izumi. Oni I. Izuku then saw Izumi flying towards him. Izuku. Izumi, why did you come back? Izumi. I wanted to help you. It has always been you, Rimuru-chan and Seal-chan helping me get strong. I want to return the favor, please let me help you. Suddenly Izumi and Izuku was hit by the head. Izuku/Izumi. Ite? 𝗵𝗃𝗃. Demon brats, where is Shoka and Katsumi? Izumi. I took them to the hospital. 𝗵𝗃𝗃. I will ask both of you later what happened. I just finished defeating those bird creatures. Now what is this big thing? Izuku. It's called 𝗧𝗵𝗃 and 𝗵𝗃𝗃. It is using Stain's body as a vessel. 𝗵𝗃𝗃. Let's talk later. For now we have to stop this 𝗧𝗵𝗃. Izuku. Izumi, I want you to put a barrier around the 𝗧𝗵𝗃 to prevent it from damaging the city. Izumi. Hi. Izumi then floated up and Izumi then et up her strongest barriers, layering it. The 𝗧𝗵𝗃 then made a noise. Suddenly flying sharks came out. Izuku. F grandpa, can you take care of them for me? 𝗵𝗃𝗃. Sure. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 then started jetting through the sharks. Let me help too. Izuku then saw Endeavor flying through one of the sharks and burned the shark. Number 2. Detroit Smash. A shark was punched through the ground and Izuku saw his dad All Might came raining down with Inko ripping the other sharks with her telekinesis. Izuku. Dad. What are you guys doing here? All Might. We heard from Rimuru and Seal that you might need some help, so we came. Let us help you, son. I didn't help you when you were a child. Let us help you now. Izuku then teared up a bit, and Inko then went to Izumi and helped her with the barrier. Izumi. Why are you here? Inko. To help you, of course. Now focus. Izumi. Highs. Izuku. Good job, mom. And Izumi, just keep holding him. I am almost ready with my attacks. Izuku then started gathering the energy around him, absorbing it. Izuku. Mom. Izumi, I will give you a signal to turn off the barrier. Izuku was still gathering the energy. Izuku. Finally now Izumi. Mom. Izuku float up in front of the 𝗧𝗵𝗃. Izuku. Take this elemental buster. Debris was flying. The sharks fell to the ground and Izuku saw Stain falling and quickly going to him, catching him. Time skip. Izuku was now seen absorbing the corrupted core inside Stain's body and Izuku finally absorbed all of it. Izuku. That's too much energy I have absorbed. Izuku then passed out because he absorbed too much energy. Inko. Izuku. That was the last words Izuku heard before passing out. He was caught by All Might. Stain. 𝗬𝗏𝗃𝗃. Stain woke up and saw many heroes in front of him. 𝗵𝗃𝗃. It's been a long time. Stain. Then the police came and arrested Stain while All Might brought Izuku to the void while 𝗵𝗃𝗃, Izumi, and Inko went to the hospital. The incident in Hosu was big. Fortunately civilians were safe. Time skip. It was now 2 days after the incident. Izuku woke up yesterday and was being taken care of by Rimuru and Seal. Meanwhile in a bar, Shigaraki. That DMN brats. Shigaraki slammed his hands on the table. Shigaraki. It is always him who is ruining my plans. Shigaraki was shaving a tantrum. Kurogiri. Young 𝗵𝗃𝗃, please calm down. Yes, Shigaraki, complaining won't get you anywhere. A voice came out of a screen. Number 2. That Izuku has now also absorbed one of my cores. Why can't things go right for once? Another voice was heard in the screen. Shigaraki. 𝗵𝗃𝗃 and Yuki, that demon brat is always in the way. What do we do? Shigaraki said Yuki's name with malice. He didn't like Yuki as he thought that he might replace him as his MSDR's successor. Yuki. What's with the tone? Geez, but indeed, what would we do with that brat? I can't do anything for now. Rimuru might intervene and kill me in the process. I hate dying twice from that slime. Yuki grits his teeth as he remembered being killed by Rimuru. AFO. In due time, my friend, you can have your revenge and I can have my rule over Japan. Now what is the status of our mole inside Kurogiri? The mole has still not yet been compromised. FO. Well, tell us if there is something now. Shigaraki, you may have failed 𝗬𝗵𝗃, you can try again, I am always here for you, now I need to go. The screen then turns off. In the hospital, 𝗧𝗏 was being scolded by his parents. Meanwhile, Shoka and Katsumi were talking to each other. Then suddenly a police and a dog with a tuxedo came inside the room with Izuku, Izumi, Gran Torino and Manuel. Hello young heroes, I am Kenji, the chief of the police. I am here regarding of your fight with Stain. Kenji, now 𝗧𝗏 family, your son knowingly went and fought Stain, getting others injured in the process, so he will be charged and be jailed. Tenya then looked down in shame and accepted it. While Shoka and Katsumi protested. Izuku, girls, let him finished first. Katsumi and Shoka then shuts up Kenji. Thanks for that, cows. Now 𝗧𝗏, I want to give you a second option. You will not speak of this to anyone that you were there, and you will never be sentenced to prison for attempt murder and vigilantism. We will let you decide your punishment. 𝗧𝗏, I will take the second one. I still need to uphold my big brother's promise to me. Kenji, then we're done here. Kenji then left, and so was Gran Torino and Manuel. Izuku and Izumi stayed. Izumi, guys, are you okay now? Shoka, yeah, thanks for saving us back there. Izumi, Katsumi, if you weren't we would have been dead already. Izuku, it's good to see you too. Alright, but now I have to go cause my energy hasn't stabilized yet. Also 𝗧𝗏, I won't say anything to you cause it will just make me a hypocrite, but as my responsibility as the class president and as your friend. Izuku walked to him and bonked 𝗧𝗏 on his head. Izuku, don't be stupid anymore, think what you will do first before doing it. Tenya's dad, Izuku, thank you for saving our son. The 𝗧𝗏 family owes you whatever you need, we will give it to you. Izuku, no need for that, I only did what is right, and also if it wasn't for the three of them he would have been dead, so don't thank me, thank them. 𝗧𝗏's parents were amused at Izuku's humbleness and also thanked the three girls from saving their son. Izuku, now I need to go, I still have stabilized my energy. Izumi, you wanna come? Izumi, no thanks Oni-chan, I wanna stay here with them. Izuku, okay then, see you all in UA. Izuku then disappeared in the void. Izuku got back and went to his bedroom. As he went in he saw both Rimuru and 𝗂𝗏 in a CC bunny outfit. Izuku, well, if I can stabilize my energy later. Izuku then went to Rimuru and 𝗂𝗏 and did what they did. Narrator POV. Early afternoon, we can see Izuku very bored looking outside the plane and Izumi who was sleeping beside her. Why are they on the plane, you ask? Well, this happened about a week ago. Flashback. About a week ago, Izuku is bonding with 𝗂𝗏 and Rimuru in the throne room until Inko, Toshinori and Izumi went inside the throne room. Toshinori, Izuku, Melissa called 2 days ago wanting to invite us to I-Island to surprise David on his new research. Do you want to come? Izuku, sure. Richan, Sihan, do you want to join us? Rimuru, sure, it might be fun. 𝗂𝗏, I will go wherever Ezra and Izuku goes. Inko, okay great, we will be leaving tomorrow. Izuku, and we can just teleport there, you know. Toshinori, nope, no teleportation, this is a family trip and for now no using powers. You have used them enough after the Stain incident, treat this like a vacation. All Might wants Izuku to rest after Stain incident. Izuku, what, but it's boring riding on a plane and I don't trust planes. Izumi, why? Izuku, cause I don't have control over it. Oh wait Izumi, you can control it with your telekinesis to get us there faster. Izumi, yeah, I could do it. Toshinori, as I said, no using quirks or powers and it will be fun, you know. Izuku, oh hi, fine. Rimuru and 𝗂𝗏 just laugh a little seeing Izuku complaining. Flashback, and the plane was now almost arriving at I-Island and Izuku smiled once he saw the island again. Izuku, Izumi, wake up. Izuku wakes Izumi up. Izumi, Oni-chan? Izuku, we're almost there, look. Izumi looked to the window and saw I-Island. Rimuru, this seems very appealing. 𝗂𝗏, yes, it's appealing, but Tempest is more appealing and technological than this. Rimuru, 𝗂𝗏, you can't keep comparing other places with Tempest. Izuku, Richan, I never got to ask you about Tempest, what does it look like? Rimuru then began telling Izuku of Tempest and showed Izuku her memories and was amazed. Soon the plane landed and they were now going out. Izuku, a fresh air at long last. Izumi, but it was only 30 me. Izuku cuts Izumi off by saying, Izuku, fresh air? Izumi didn't bother anymore as she knows nothing will come out of it if she continues to talk. Toshinori, oh wait, I forgot we have to wear our hero costumes. Izuku, do we really have to? Izuku asked, not wanting to wear his hero costume. Toshinori, yes we have to. Izuku, fine. Izuku went back inside and so were the rest to change to their hero costume while 𝗂𝗏 and Rimuru were busy talking telepathically to someone. Rimuru, please give me the new chapter of this sacred text. A voice said inside Rimuru's mind. Rimuru, okay, I'll send it, just stop yelling. Veldora. Veldora, Rimuru, so mean you and Seal left me here in Tempest with a not full story of this magnificent story. Rimuru, by the way, how is Tempest right now? 𝗲𝗏𝗧𝗟, it is still doing good, but since you left, the patrons and the citizens were sad and are waiting for your return, and some trash kingdom tried to invade us because you were gone, but I immediately annihilated them. 𝗧𝗏. Rimuru, oh good, it is still okay, tell the others me and Seal are soon coming back. 𝗲𝗏𝗧𝗟, really you're coming back? Rimuru, what, you don't want me to come back? Rimuru said coldly, making 𝗲𝗏𝗧𝗟 flinch and sacred a bit. 𝗲𝗏𝗧𝗟, 𝗧𝗑𝗍, what do you mean? I am glad why you're coming back. Rimuru, okay then just tell the others and goodbye. Rimuru immediately cuts the communication off. Meanwhile, with 𝗲𝗏𝗧𝗟 was flying outside the labyrinth and into the center of the town in Tempest. He arrived and immediately lands in the platform. Many citizens and travelers saw 𝗲𝗏𝗧𝗟 and immediately bowed down in respect. 𝗲𝗏𝗧𝗟, guys, Rimuru is coming back soon. As soon as 𝗲𝗏𝗧𝗟 said, all of the patrons immediately appeared, and also the others who were very close to Rimuru. Diablo, our goddess Rimuru-sama is finally coming back soon. What a wonderful day it would be. Diablo kept praising Rimuru, and soon Adelman joined him. Rigard, we must prepare a feast, a worthy feast for Rimuru-sama's return. 𝗓𝗍𝗏, finally Rimuru-sama is coming back. I cooked the best meal for Rimuru-sama. As soon as 𝗓𝗍𝗏 said that, everyone pale and were trying to stop her from doing it. 𝗓𝗍𝗏, Rimuru-sama is coming back. I will cook the most delicious meal ever. Everyone in Tempest celebrated the wonderful news, and soon words were soon heard by other kingdoms and were now again cautious of the returning of the ruler of the strongest nation. Tempest, in the ice continent, a man with long red hair is sitting on an icy throne, and he was grinning. Guy, Rimuru is finally coming back, huh? He, I wonder how strong she is now. 𝗲𝗏𝗧𝗟, don't do it, guy, she already beaten you last time with just a kick, and plus I will not allow you to come near my little sister in Rubrio Ruminas. 𝗵𝗃. Rimuru is coming back. I can't to see that appealing face of hers again. Ruminas said, thinking of dressing Rimuru with many cute clothings. 𝗏𝗧𝗏, sensei is finally coming back. 𝗏𝗏 was very excited that Rimuru will finally be returning and was jumping around happily. Back to Rimuru. Rimuru, why do I feel like something bad is going to happen when I come back there? Rimuru said, sensing a bad omen coming when she returns to Tempest. Soon the Yagi family were done changing and were now out of the airport and is now surrounded by fans. Izuku, damn it, I should have left my suit. Izuku looks at Toshinori, who are now regretting doing this. Inko and Izumi were just glaring at poor All Might. All Might, everyone please form a line. Orderly, we will sign your autographs, please be civil. All of the people then formed a line, and the line was very long. Izuku, I am glad I can make clones. Izuku immediately made 300 clones of himself and were now signing autographs at a very fast rate. Izumi, Inko and All Might were jealous of Izuku's ability and was also signing people's autograph very fast. Time skip. Izuku finished signing autograph first and immediately went to Rimuru and Seal to cuddle with them, and soon after the three were finished and were out of energy. Izumi, Oni-chan, please give me the beans. Inko, yes, the beans give us, we're tired, I don't think I can make it past midnight for the party. Izuku, okay. Izuku immediately gave them 1 senzu beans each. Rimuru, Ikun, we will go first to the hotel. Me and Seal need to do something. Izuku, okay. Ri-chan, and Izuku immediately kissed Rimuru on the kiss, the same as Seal, and Izumi was just looking a bit jealous of Rimuru and Seal. Izumi, someday I can get to do it with Oni-chan too. Izumi was just waiting for the right time to confess to Izuku but couldn't find the right time. Every time she tried, she always freeze on the spot. Now back to them. Rimuru and Seal immediately left to go the hotel. Rimuru, Seal, are you sure Ikuin can handle it? Seal, yes, 𝗵𝗃𝗃, and it's best not to interfere in Izuku's growth. Rimuru, okay if you say so. Rimuru was worried cause right now she knows something was about to happen thanks to Seal, and Seal said that this moment is a very important part for Izuku to grow. Meanwhile, somewhere in Island. Boss, where do we put them? Put them in the container for now. Then a fine rings. The boss immediately answers, are you here? A man's voice can be heard in the phone. Yes, we are here. Okay, good, go to containment 62C, there you will find equipments for you to use. The call then ended. This is gonna be fun, the boss said while looking down on the island. Narrator POV, Uncle All Might, Auntie Inko. The Yagi family who were standing in the park look up and saw a appealing blonde-hair girl using a pogo stick. All Might, Melissa? The girl now known as Melissa jumped to All Might him. Inko, hi Melissa, how are you? You have grown so appealing. Melissa, thanks auntie, and I am good. How are you both? By the way, are these your students in UA? All Might. We're good, and actually Izuku. I am hurt Melchan, you forgot about us, Izumi. Yeah, Melichan Izuku, and Izumi cries jokingly Melissa. Wait, only two people call me that. Melissa then remembers who Izuku and Izumi and quickly hugs the both of them. Melissa? Izuku, Izumi, I missed you too so much. Izuku, us too Melchan, we miss you too Izumi. Yeah, Melichan, both Izumi and Izuku hugs back to her, and Inko immediately took pictures. Inko, aw, they're so cute, like when they were still 3 years old and Melissa was 5. All Might. Yeah, you two were always clinging on Melissa. Melissa, Uncle Might, Papa will be very surprised to see you again. All Might. It's been so long since I have seen David and can't wait to meet an old friend of mine. Melissa, then let's go, Papa is already about to go home. Melissa immediately grabbed Izuku and Izumi's hands and ran to her papa's laboratory. Meanwhile, somewhere on Island. Boss, you, someone is calling you. The boss grabs the phone and answered it. Boss, who is this? Wolfram. All Might is in the island. The boss, now known as Wolfram, was skeptical about the caller. Wolfram, why should I believe you? You should believe me, cause I know well in the future you will be beaten by All Might and his kids, but I will give you an opportunity to have the power to kill them all. Wolfram, power that can kill anyone. How should I know this is true? Look behind you. Immediately Wolfram looks behind and saw a man standing behind him. He felt something terrifying about the man standing. His aura was full of hatred and malice. Wolfram, then I believe you give me the power to obliterate them. Good choice. The man immediately held Wolfram's face, and suddenly dark lights were beginning to form on Wolfram's body, and a few minutes it disappeared. Wolfram, I feel so powerful. What is this? You will know soon enough, and don't disappoint me. Kill all of them. The man was about to disappear. Wolfram, who are you? The man looks back. I am someone who is serving a higher entity. The man immediately disappears. Wolfram, let's get back to work, boys. We have heroes to kill. Wolfram and the others were now preparing for the nights. Back to Izuku. All of them were now outside of David Shield's lab. Melissa went in first and were waiting for the signal to come in. Melissa, Papa, I have a surprise for you. I brought someone who is very close to you. Then All Might immediately came inside doing his usual All Might stuff. All Might, I am here to celebrate my friend's breakthrough. All Might comes in doing an All Might pose while David and his assistant Sam was shocked to see All Might. Sam was shocked and was now in a dilemma. All Might, David was shocked and happy to see his friend again. All Might quickly goes toward David and hugs him. The others then went in. David, Inko, it is so nice to see you. Thank you for coming here with All Might. Inko, it's no problem, David. You are mine and Toshi's friend, and we wouldn't want to miss out on your breakthrough. Izuku/Izumi, hi uncle. David was confused on who the two were, and soon he finally recognizes then David. Izuku, Izumi, is that you too? My god, you have grown so much I couldn't even recognize both of you anymore. Izuku, nice to see you again too, uncle. All Might, cough. David, Melissa, how about you show Izuku and Izumi around the island while me, Inko, and Toshi catch up. Melissa, sure dad. Izumi, Izuku, come on. Izuku and Izumi knew something was up. Izuku, his stomach is already healed with the healing potion. Wait, did he give OFA to someone? Izuku was wondering who All Might gave the quirk to. Izumi, dad must have given it to someone, but who did dad gave it to? Izumi was also wondering the same thing and only had one person in thy mind that could have it. Izuku/Izumi, Kaminari, both think that Kaminari is now the holder of one for all, cause both saw Kaminari's electricity changes from yellow to purple every time. Time skip. Izuku, Izumi and Melissa were now at the museum of the island where the inventions of the scientist that lives here are being showcased. Izuku, this is really amazing, the tech stuffs. Izumi, yeah, it can really help the heroes catching villains easily. Izuku, Izumi, is that you too? Izuku and Izumi heard a familiar voice and turn around to see Kaminari with Jiru. Izuku, Kaminari, you two came to Island also? Kaminari, yeah, Kyoka's family were gonna perform at the party tonight, so I tagged along. Melissa, Izuku, Izumi, is these two your classmates too in UA's? Izuku, yeah, I forgot guys, this is Melissa Shield, me and Izumi's childhood friend. Kaminari, nice to meet you. Melissa-san, I am Kaminari Denki from Hero Course in UA. Kyoka, I am Jiru Kyoka, also from UA Hero Course. Melissa, wow, so cool, you two are heroes, it must be very cool there. Izuku and Izumi noticed Kyoka and Kaminari were holding hands. Izumi, what is this? Why are you two holding hands? Denki and Kyoka noticed neither of their hands were still interlocked with each other and quickly let go of each other's hands and were blushing red. Chop Izumi. Itai. Izumi was rubbing her head that was hit by Izuku. Don't be too loud and look, you embarrass both of them. Izumi look at both Kaminari and Jairu who were blushing red. Izumi. I am so sorry. Kaminari. No, it's okay. Kyoka. Why it's time skip. Izuku, Melissa, Izumi, Kaminari and Kyoka were now at a cafe. The toe boys were sitting in a separate table from the girls who were busy chatting with each other. Izuku. So you and Kyoka, huh? How did it happen? Kaminari. Well, it happened at sports festival and before she was really into you, Izuku. I know. Kaminari. Izuku. I could read minds. I accidentally read hers and I just pretend I didn't know and I only see her as one of my closest friends and I am very glad that she has you now. Izuku then leaned into Kaminari's ears. Izuku whispers, oh, and congrats on getting one for all. Kaminari was shocked and paled for a bit at what Izuku said. Kaminari, wait, how did you? Izuku. I've known that secret for a while, my whole family knows it, and also notice my dad has been running out of time more lately when I already healed him. Then notice you in your practice your lightning turning to purple, and by the way, nice control. When did my dad give you OFA? Kaminari, well, after sports festival he sent me to the faculty and talked to me. At first I didn't want to accept it, but seeing the happening from Hosu incident I agreed, and I want to stand at the top with you and the girls, and also so that I could protect Kyo and make sure she is safe. Izuku. Then train well, and also a tip, I notice you kept concentrating OFA in one body part. One suggest you spread them out through your entire body to have more control of the usage of the power of OFA. Kaminari, thanks, never thought about spreading it, I'll do it. Here's your drink, sir. Kaminari and Izuku recognize the voice and look up to see Shiro and Mineta wearing a waiter attire. Kaminari, Mineta and say dash. Before Kaminari could finish, another voice call out, but this time it was a female and a male voice. Girl. Wait, is that you guys? The girls formed the other table also heard it and saw Momo Yaoyorozu and Ochako Uraraka who was going towards them. Boy, you two should get back to work. And the boy was running towards them at a sonic speed while doing his demonic hand chops. Izuku, Ida, you're here too. Nita, yes, I am here because I will represent my family and I think it same's goes for Yaoyorozu. Momo, yes, my parents holds a big stock and investment on this island and they sent us 2 invitations which was meant for my dad and mom, but they couldn't come here, so I came with Uraraka, with Melissa. Melissa, are they your classmates from UA too? Izumi, yeah, and don't talk to those 2 guys there, especially that little one. Melissa, can I ask why? Kyoka, just look at him. Melissa then looks at Mineta and was met with a very disgusting look from her. Mineta was staring at her body, drooling. Melissa, so he's a pervert. Izumi and Kyoka nodded with the boys. Mineta, Izuku, who is that hottie? Both Mineta and Shiro pulled Izuku closer to them. Shiro, yeah, come on bro, introduce us to her. Ida, you guys quit slacking off and continue to work? Ida said, doing his demonic hand chops while running towards them, which made both Shiro and Mineta fall. Mineta/Shiro, hey. As both were being scolded by Ida, they Kaminari and Izuku continued to talk while Momo and Ochako introduced themselves to Melissa. Boom. All of them heard the explosion and immediately rushed to where it was, and when they arrived they saw Katsumi in the center. Announcer, well folks, looks like we have a new first placer here with the score of 7.9 seconds. Katsumi, still not enough, Katsumi said to herself, wanting to stand with Izumi and Izuku. Katsumi trained herself every day and night while thinking about what happened in the Hosu incident. She couldn't even help the 2 and it made her angry and frustrated and vowed to train herself even harder to help both of them. Izumi, Kat-chan. Katsumi then looks up and saw Izumi, Izuku and the others. She immediately flew up to them using her explosions. Katsumi, how are you guys here? Izumi, well, mom and dad wanted us to come with them so we came, and also Richan and Sai-chan is here too. Oh, and I want you to meet Melissa. Melissa, hi, I am Melissa Shield, nice to meet you. Katsumi, nice to meet you too. Hey Izumi-chan, how about you and I-chan try these? Then suddenly the ground shook and they quickly look who was the cause of it and saw Ashoka shooting down meteorites made with ice hitting the robots. Announcer, incredible, we have a new first placer with the score of 6.3. Katsumi, I forgot we came together. Oi Shoka. Shoka, who heard Katsumi look up and saw Izuku and the gang were there and immediately went to them. Then Izuku and Izuku introduced Shoka to Melissa. Both became Good friends immediately announcer, we have a new challenger to Izuku Yagi and Izumi Yagi. Wait, oh my god, you both are cows and 𝗧𝗵𝗲. As the announcer recognized the both of them, soon more people came and watched the two. Izumi, I'll go first. Oniichan. Izuku, okay, good luck. Izumi. Announcer, okay, 3:21 start. Izumi stood still at the middle and pulled her hands out, forming a open hands and suddenly crushing it close. As she closed her hands, multiple explosions were heard throughout the mountain. Announcer, amazing, we have a new 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗟 again with the score of 3.2 seconds. Everyone was shocked, no one had scored that low except for All Might and Endeavor. Everyone then shouts, cheering Izumi. Izuku, oh, you finally, that technique you told me about. Izumi, yeah, I it 2 days ago and I needed a test subject and this was the perfect one. Katsumi, Izumi-chan, what was that? Izumi, well, that was my new technique. I used the ground to know where my opponent is, even from blind spots. I had the idea from the manga Demon Slayer. Announcer, 321 start. Izuku immediately disappeared from everyone's sights and soon multiple explosions were heard at the same time and Izuku immediately appeared in the middle on his knees holding his chest in pain. Everyone, Izuchan/Izuku/Onan/I-chan. Everyone ran to get him. Izuku, what's happening? I thought my energy is already stabilized. As everyone was about to come near, they were immediately stopped by two women with silver blue hair. It was none other than Rimuru and 𝗂𝗍𝗄. Rimuru, Izumi-chan, stand back. Same goes to the rest of you here. 𝗂𝗍𝗄, it seems like both of the cores inside him are combining. Rimuru, well, is it a good or a bad thing? 𝗂𝗍𝗄, both. It could make Izuku more powerful if it succeeds. Rimuru, what happen if it fails? 𝗂𝗍𝗄, both cores will explode, releasing a lot of magicules which will make Izuku explode as magicules that's inside him will overload. Rimuru, can you do something about it? 𝗂𝗍𝗄, of course, and Rimuru, then do it. 𝗂𝗍𝗄, as you wish. 𝗂𝗍𝗄 then began to peek inside Izuku's soul where the two cores reside, but as she tries to go inside it, she was blocked off. 𝗂𝗍𝗄 tried again and again, but she can't seem to get in. Rimuru, 𝗂𝗍𝗄, what's happening now? 𝗂𝗍𝗄, then sir, I can't get in, something's blocking me. Rimuru, what, who? Rimuru was PSS, someone is intervening. 𝗂𝗍𝗄 from saving Izuku. 𝗂𝗍𝗄, I think it's his skill. Tranquility is it not only protects the mind but it also protects its soul. Rimuru, can't you just turn it off? Rimuru, calm down. 𝗂𝗍𝗄, I can't steer. If I turn it off now there's a chance that the two cores might explode. It's up to Izuku. Rimuru, Izuku, please get through this. Rimuru said, holding Izuku's hand in Izuku's mindscape. Izuku, where am I? So you're finally here? Izuku heard a voice and immediately got into a stance. Izuku, who are you? Come out. Nice to see you. Other mean. Izuku, why you're mean? Narrator POV. Everyone was now in David Shield's lab and as we can see Izuku in a bed in a deep state coma as Izumi and the others were there looking at Izuku who was sleeping. 𝗂𝗍𝗄, hey sir, this place is not safe for Izuku to rest, we need to bring him to the cardinal world. Izumi, Rimuru-chan, what is 𝗂𝗍𝗄-chan talking about? Rimuru, 𝗧𝗍𝗄, I'm sorry to tell you this but right now Izuku is evolving into something higher like me before but different. You see, at the USJ incident he fought and defeated the Nomu and absorbed its core, and on the Hosu incident he absorbed again another core, All Might, from the Charybdis that he destroyed. Rimuru nodded. Inko, so why does he have to go to this cardinal world? 𝗂𝗍𝗄, cause the magicules there are higher and more potent and he can have more secure protection. Izumi, what do you mean by that? We can protect Oni-chan, he protected me before and I will never leave his side, not again. Izumi said with a bit of anger. 𝗂𝗍𝗄, you can't, you will understand later of what I mean. If we bring him there he can evolve faster with the magicules there and can be more safe. Rimuru, 𝗂𝗍𝗄 is right, we have to bring him there. Izumi, then we'll go. Everyone nodded, wanting to go as well. Rimuru, I'm sorry but no, you all will have to stay here. There is an impending doom coming on this island and you will stay here, protect it. Izumi, can't you just make it vanish? Rimuru, I'm sorry but I can't interfere, you will know soon enough why. But for now we have to take him there. All Might, at least let Inko go with you to take care of Izuku. Inko, Toshi. 𝗂𝗍𝗄, fine then let's go. 𝗂𝗍𝗄 immediately went to the other side of Izuku's bed while Rimuru was on the opposite side and Inko was on front of the bed. Rimuru, stand back all of you. Everyone then stood back. 𝗂𝗍𝗄, mother-in-law, hold both our hand. Inko did as she says, then a blue signs appeared in the ground circling them. All Might, dear, please take care of our son well. Izumi, Katsumi Shoka, please be well. Oniatan/I-chan/Izuku, The three cries as they saw them vanish right in front of their eyes, far away from them in the Tempest. Everyone in Tempest were gladly celebrating of their leader, the goddess Rimuru's great news of returning. Soon as they were celebrating, the ground suddenly shook very harshly and the entire world felt a familiar yet very dangerous aura returning. Diablo, our goddess Rimuru-sama has returned. Diablo immediately disappeared. Carrera, no way, I let him beat me. From greeting Rimuru-sama first, Carrera then disappeared together with Ultima and Testarossa. Benimaru, Rimuru-sama has finally returned. Shuna, Oni I-sama. Shuna was happily hugging Benimaru as Rimuru has finally came back. Meanwhile in Rubrios, Luminous, oh my, Luminous said while drinking tea on her night garden with Chloe, who also felt the aura. Chloe, Sensei. Ruminas, we have to go. Sensei is finally back. Luminous, Fufufu, of course we will. Luminous showing her perversive smile, thinking of Rimuru on a maid outfit in the ice continent. Guy, ho, she returned earlier than I expected, Guy said while eating the sweets on the table. 𝗲𝗟𝗧𝗟, indeed I thought she would return in 2 years' time. Well, shall we visit? Guy, not now, we will soon call a 𝗲𝗄𝗃𝗧𝗟. And oh, do you feel that? Guy felt a different aura that was different, unlike any other aura he felt. 𝗲𝗟𝗧𝗟, oh my, yes, this is getting interesting, 𝗲𝗟𝗧𝗟 said, sipping her tea. Meanwhile in the throne room of Tempest, Inko, Rimuru, Seal and Izuku appeared, and soon after all of the patrons and executives immediately appeared, bowing to them all. Rimuru-sama, welcome back. Rimuru, hi guys, it's nice to see you again, but please stand up, this is urgent, call everyone and meet me at the meeting room. And 𝗫𝗫𝗏, Diablo, come with me, and Shuna, please attend to my mother-in-law. Everyone was shocked as Rimuru said, mother-in-law Rimuru, I will explain everything now, please move everyone, Rimuru said while Inko was lifting the bed with Izuku in it. Shuna, please come with me, Mrs. Inko Midoriya. Shuna, come with me. Inko-sama. Inko, okay, but please. Inko is just fine, no need for honorifics, Inko said as she was following Shuna. Shuna, I am sorry, but we can't, cause you are our goddess Rimuru-sama's mother-in-law. Inko, okay, Inko said, not used to the whole thing with Rimuru. Okay, first things first, 𝗫𝗫𝗏, send an invite to each demon lords, tell them I call forth 𝗲𝗄𝗃𝗧𝗟, and Diablo, I want you to guard and protect my mother-in-law and 𝗓𝗏𝗏. 𝗫𝗏𝗏, hi Rimuru-sama, on it, Diablo. Then I will fulfill my task for my goddess Rimuru-sama. Diablo and 𝗫𝗫𝗏 then disappeared, doing what Rimuru tasked them to do. Meanwhile with Inko, as Inko arrived at her room being guided by Shuna, she quickly placed the bed on which Izuku was in close to her. Shuna, may I ask, Inko-sama, is this person Rimuru-sama's partner? Rimuru, yes, his name is Izuku, Rimuru said coming inside the room. Shuna, welcome Rimuru-sama, Shuna says as she bows. Rimuru, thank you Shuna for taking care of my mother-in-law. Shuna, I really didn't do much Rimuru-sama, but I will accept your grace. Shuna then left and closed the door. Inko, Rimuru, is this your world? Rimuru, yes, and right now we are in my kingdom Tempest, and right now this is the most safest place for him to stay. Rimuru, mom, please come with me. Inko, but what a boo dash. Rimuru held Inko's hand. Rimuru, don't worry, 𝗓𝗏𝗏 will be fine, I have my strongest subordinate to protect him. Diablo then appeared and bows. Diablo, nice to meet you Inko-sama, I am Diablo, a great name bestowed upon me by none other than the great goddess Rimuru-sama. Rimuru, that's enough for now Diablo, and protect 𝗓𝗏𝗏 at all cost, that is your top priority. Rimuru then teleports her and Inko to the meeting room. In the meeting room, all of the executives of Tempest were now in the meeting room except for Diablo and 𝗫𝗫𝗏, who are currently doing their assigned task. All Rimuru-sama, everyone stands up and bow. Rimuru, you can all sit down. Now everyone, I want you to meet my mother-in-law Inko Midoriya. Everyone in the room was silent. It was true that the woman beside Rimuru is her mother-in-law. Inko, hi everyone, Inko said bowing to the people in front of her. Benimaru, Rimuru-sama, may I ask where is your husband? Rimuru quickly blushes at the statement husband and quickly covered it, not knowing everyone notice it. Rimuru, he is currently in my mother-in-law's room evolving, and listen, all of you, don't tell everyone about this, we will soon announce his existence in here after my 𝗓𝗏𝗏 is well and strong again. Everybody understood? All kind. 𝗫𝗫𝗏, Rimuru-sama, I am done with my task. 𝗫𝗫𝗏 said opening the door. Rimuru, good job 𝗫𝗫𝗏, and now how dash. Rimuru was cut off by someone who jumped to her, making her fall to the ground. 𝗲𝗏𝗏, Rimuru, you finally have returned, my sworn sister. 𝗧𝗏𝗏, Ramiris, Rimuru, welcome back. Dino, welcome back I guess. Dino then went to the corner to sleep. Rimuru, should I send you to Guy? Dino, My gosh, Rimuru, welcome backs. Dino immediately stood up and went to Rimuru. Rimuru, 𝗲𝗏𝗏, you can stop hugging me now. 𝗲𝗏𝗏, fine, but you owe me many sacred texts, said 𝗲𝗏𝗏, who was getting off of her, and Rimuru stood up and introduced 𝗵𝗃𝗀 to them. At first 𝗲𝗏𝗏 pouted, not knowing Rimuru's engagement, and he didn't get to intimidate Izuku like a brother would and sulk about it. Meanwhile, Dino didn't care cause he just wants to sleep, and 𝗵𝗃𝗏 was jealous cause she doesn't have anyone yet. Well, if a certain otaku dragon would confess to her, but that would most likely not happen yet. Rimuru, I forgot everyone is still here, you can all go now, but 𝗬𝗍𝗪, 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘, 𝗳𝗏𝗧𝗏, 𝗪𝗼𝗪, and 𝗵𝗏𝗏 will stay. Everyone then left saying goodbye to Rimuru and 𝗵𝗃𝗀, and now in the room was Dino, who's sleeping on the corner, 𝗲𝗏𝗏 and 𝗵𝗃𝗏, who are reading mangas, and the 4 girls that were called to stay by Rimuru, and also 𝗵𝗃𝗀, who is just standing behind Rimuru. Rimuru, now 𝗬𝗍𝗪, I want you and 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘 to come with me to 𝗪𝗃𝗲 with my mother-in-law 𝗬𝗍𝗪. Hi Rimuru-sama, 𝗬𝗍𝗪 waving her hand happily as she gets to go with Rimuru to 𝗪𝗃𝗲's 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗘. It would be my greatest honor to 𝗧𝗍𝗪𝗍 and 𝗵𝗃𝗀-sama to the 𝗪𝗃𝗲s. Meanwhile, the other 2 𝗳𝗏𝗏 and 𝗪𝗼𝗪 were jealous of 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗃. 𝗳𝗏, Rimuru-sama, how about me? I want to join too. 𝗪𝗼𝗪, me too. Rimuru, you guys will stay here and help Diablo on an important task on protecting my fiancés. Both were sad that they couldn't accompany Rimuru to the 𝗪𝗃𝗲s and were irritated by a certain white-haired demoness who was letting out a smug grin on them. 𝗳𝗏𝗏/𝗪𝗼𝗪. Hi Rimuru-sama. Both bowed down and disappeared whilst glaring at 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗃. Rimuru, you two prepare yourselves for 𝗪𝗃𝗲s, and 𝗵𝗏𝗏, I want you to up the security of the kingdom, but be discreet about it. I don't want to cause panic amongst the people in and out of Tempest. 𝗵𝗏𝗏, hi Rimuru. 𝗵𝗏𝗏, 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗟𝗃 and 𝗬𝗍𝗪 then left, same with 𝗲𝗏𝗏, 𝗵𝗃𝗏 and Dino, who went back to the labyrinth. Now the only ones left in the room was Rimuru and 𝗵𝗃𝗃. Rimuru, what is a 𝗪𝗃𝗲s? Rimuru, a 𝗪𝗃𝗲s is the meeting of the demon lords. I forgot to mention I am also a demon lord of this world. 𝗵𝗃𝗀, but is it okay for me to be there? What about Izuku? Will he be dash? 𝗵𝗃𝗀 again was worrying about Izuku. Rimuru, you don't need to worry, I will keep Ikuin safe, I promise. 𝗵𝗃𝗀 calmed down a bit but was still worried. Rimuru, seal, is there any progress? Rimuru activates thought communication seal. Izukuin is not nearly complete. My calculations would be he is still at 2% in his evolutionary state. Rimuru, when will the evolution finish? Seal, with the magicules here being more potent and the adaptability of Izukuin's body to the cardinal world's environment and magicules, it would take 3 to 5 days till he wakes up. Rimuru, thanks Seal, tell me if anything happens. Seal, hi Mr. Rimuru then deactivates the thought communication and looks at 𝗵𝗃𝗀. Rimuru, Ikuin will be waking up in 3 to 5 days. 𝗵𝗃𝗀, thank you Rimuru. Thank you for being there for Izuku when I wasn't. Thank you. 𝗵𝗃𝗀 knelt down and cries, remembering the time she neglected him and not care about him. Rimuru, Mom, Ikuin will be okay. Ikuin is strong, he will get through this. Rimuru stood down hugging 𝗵𝗃𝗀, who hugs her back. After a few minutes they both got up and went back to where Izuku is. Meanwhile with Izuku was crazily as he was fighting his other self. Other Izuku, what, giving up now? The other Izuku said with a tint of disappointment in his voice. Izuku, not even close. Izuku again went and charging Hero's Wrath to a full power to the other Izuku and punch him. Izuku, how's that? Izuku sighed to the other Izuku, who was blasted off the punch. Now you may be wondering what was happening, but I'll gladly loop back time for you. Flashback. Izuku, why, you're mean? Izuku said as he was looking at the other Izuku, who has a dark aura surrounding it. Other Izuku, you must be wondering why you're here. Izuku nodded, which then he remembers the last thing he saw before passing out. Other Izuku, you are currently in the gaps of both of your soul and mind because you are currently on a, let's just say, a very fun joy ride. Izuku, what joy ride? Other Izuku, oh well, a joy ride that may lead you to your ascension or your death. Ha, fun, isn't it? Izuku, where's the fun part in it? But other Izuku, well, the fun part is I get to see you blow up, so please blow up. The other Izuku suddenly disappears from his place and reappears in front of Izuku, charging a fist into his face. Back to the present. Other Izuku, not bad, but that wasn't even enough. Ha ha. The other Izuku stood up like nothing happened, which made Izuku shock. Izuku, why are you trying to kill me? Other Izuku, why not? Haha, maybe I should take over this body and steal your appealing fiancés. Izuku's anger went up, causing his magicules outside in the real world higher in the cardinal world. 𝗵𝗃𝗀, what is happening? 𝗵𝗃𝗀 said, looking at Izuku, who was glowing very bright and releasing an unprecedented amount of aura that could rival the 3 true dragons combined. Rimuru, seal contain the aura now. The aura was immediately contained, but people around the world felt it even if it was just a bit. It made the whole world shock and fear there might be another threat to destroy the world. In the ice continent, guy. This is getting pretty interesting. I wonder what you have brought us. Rimuru, guy who was keeping his cool in check but was a bit panicked that the power balance again is gonna shift while 𝗲𝗧𝗟 is just drinking his tea, amused of the situation. 𝗲𝗧𝗟, that aura, I felt anger and a draconic rage ready to burst. Guy, this is gonna be a headache. Back to Tempest. Rimuru, seal, why did 𝗂𝗃𝗀 suddenly burst? Seal, I don't know. 𝗵𝘃𝗲 are the only one who can answer this is Izuku himself. Rimuru, please be okay. 𝗂𝗃𝗀𝗵𝗃, Rimuru-sama, what was that? 𝗵𝘃𝗀 appears with the 8 OS the 12 patrons with him while the other 3 was guarding Izuku. Rimuru, nothing, everything is fine here, and tell the people to not get panic, everything is under control. Gabiru, Rimuru-sama, is that your dash? Rimuru, yes, and please make sure to not spread any info on this room until he awakes. Patrons, hi Rimuru-sama. Rimuru, you may leave. Everyone then disappeared. Meanwhile with the patrons. 𝗵𝘃𝗀, that aura just now was very strong and huge. 𝗧𝗵𝗃, I agree, and a fit partner for Rimuru-sama. Everyone agrees to what 𝗧𝗵𝗃 said. 𝗵𝘃𝗀, still we have to be ready. If ever he wakes up and act violence, then we will do everything we can to protect our lady and the people. Everyone nodded their heads and began to leave. Meanwhile back to Izuku. Izuku was now punching the other Izuku left and right, not caring about how his fist is injured by the punches he has been doing to the other Izuku. Izuku, I will not let you take everything from me. Izuku charged up one last time and punched the other Izuku's face, but suddenly the other Izuku vanished and Izuku was transported to another place. Izuku, where am I? Arg. Izuku finally felt the pain of the punches he was doing. Did Rimuru really chose you as her successor? Izuku looks up and saw a colorful figure standing in front of him. Izuku, who are you? Allow me to introduce myself. I am 𝗧𝗍, the former god or king the omniverse, but that title now belongs to her and also the one who gifted you the skill. Hero's Wrath. Izuku, where am I? 𝗧𝗍, you're in my palace. Izuku, why? 𝗧𝗍, why what? Izuku, why bring me here? Why you gave me the skill? What's your end goal? 𝗧𝗍, nothing really, just want to get you ready for what's coming. Izuku, you mean Yuki? 𝗧𝗍, no. Please, that child is nowhere near mine and Rimuru's power, but this threat is greater. Me and Rimuru combine. Even if she has her other self helping her, it will not be enough to stop what is coming. Izuku is shocked as there is someone coming who Rimuru, Seal, and even this guy couldn't beat, and was for the first time felt fear he might lose everything. 𝗧𝗍, that's why I decided to get myself involved now while you are currently evolving, cause you and your other selves are the only ones capable of stopping it. Izuku, what do you mean other selves? 𝗧𝗍, you will know soon enough and be ready, cause I will be training you here for 30 years, and don't worry, 30 years here is only 4 days there. So are you ready? Izuku, the successor of Rimuru Tempest? Izuku, I'm ready. Narrator POV. Few hours went by since 𝗵𝗃𝗀 and Izuku came into the cardinal world. 𝗵𝗃𝗀 is in her room keeping an eye on Izuku, who hasn't yet awoken from his evolutionary slumber. 𝗵𝗃𝗀, Izuku, please be okay. 𝗵𝗃𝗀 said, holding Izuku's hands. Rimuru, Mom, it's time. 𝗵𝗃𝗀, okay, I'm coming. 𝗵𝗃𝗀 said with a bit of hesitation of letting go of Izuku, not wanting to leave him again like before. Rimuru, he will be fine, I promise. Rimuru went and reassures 𝗵𝗃𝗀 that everything will be fine and Izuku will wake up strong as ever. After Rimuru finally made 𝗵𝗃𝗀 to leave the room, they both went to her office where 𝗪𝗏 and 𝗧𝗪𝗧 were waiting. 𝗧𝗪𝗧/𝗪𝗏, Rimuru-sama and 𝗵𝗃𝗀-sama. Rimuru, hey guys. 𝗵𝗃𝗀, hi. 𝗵𝗃𝗀 said shyly, still not used to being called with honorifics. They then sat down and wait for the gate to appear. While waiting, 𝗪𝗏 starts talking to 𝗵𝗃𝗀. 𝗵𝗃𝗀-sama, what is Izuku-sama like? 𝗵𝗃𝗀, well, Izuku is a very sweet, kind, and a very smart boy. A few minutes both kept talking to each other. Soon 𝗧𝗪𝗧 joined in. After a few more minutes of talking, 𝗵𝗃𝗀 was finally calm a bit, and then finally the gate appears in front of them and the doors opened, revealing a blur-haired maid coming out of the portal. Rimuru-sama, I have come to 𝗧𝗍𝗑 you to the 𝗧𝗃𝗧𝗟. The blue-haired maid then bowed. 𝗧𝗪𝗧, Rain-chan, it's nice to see you again. 𝗧𝗪𝗧 smiling to the primordial blue. Rain, it's good to see you too. 𝗧𝗪𝗧, Rimuru, Well then let's get going. Rimuru held Inko's hands, telling her that everything will be fine. All of them then went inside the gate at the 𝗲𝗃𝗃 as Rimuru and the others went in. She sees everyone is there already with their subordinates. Rimuru, hi guys, long time no see. Rimuru waves at them and seats at one of the chairs on the table. Everyone then looks at Inko, wondering if she is Rimuru's new subordinate. Guy, oi Rimuru, where the hell have you been? We've been doing your job since you left. Guy complains about too many tasks to do since Rimuru left and it's been giving him a hard time. Rimuru, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗍𝗵 been busy too, you know, and also as to why I have called 𝗲𝗃𝗃𝗧 is because of my fiancé. Everyone in the room is shocked except for Rimuru, who was grinning, implying that she already knows it way ahead than the others, and Dino, whom is sleeping, not caring at all. Guy, so who is this fiancé of yours? Rimuru, well, that information would be classified right now as soon as he wakes up and gain his strength again, but for the meantime I would tell you all about a particular situation that is happening. Rimuru then tells them all about Yuki. All of them were shocked hearing that the guy who almost ended the world is still alive and is gaining strength. Guy, why not kill him now, Rimuru, while he is still weak? Guy questions her, wanting to know her motives letting such a dangerous foe live. Rimuru, cause my fiancé will stop him. Guy then nods, knowing Rimuru for a long time he just pets what she does. Guy, okay then, if you trust this fiancé of yours so much, then I suppose we have nothing to worry about. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏, so right now how strong is Yuki? Rimuru, he has now accumulated power to defeat the 3 true dragons easily. Guy, so he is nearing his full power again. Rimuru, yes, but all of you don't worry, as I said my fiancé will beat him. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏, there's nothing much we can do about it. Sighs Guy, Rimuru, just make sure that your fiancé really ends him for good this time. Leon, if this is all it is, then we should end this meeting. Rimuru, oh, and I almost forgot, I want all of you to greet my fiancé's mother. Inko is nervous, very nervous. Since she first came in she felt huge waves of power. Nothing were compared to Rimuru, but it was still huge. Inko, hi everyone, I am Rimuru's mother and nice to meet you. Inko nervously greets everyone. Everyone did the same and greets Inko. Rimuru, lastly, I want to invite all of you to my returning festival. It's 6 days from now, and by then I would introduce my fiancé to the world. Rimuru said as Cheyenne hands out invitations for the festival. Rimuru, and that is all. The meeting then ends and soon all of them started eating the food that was cooked by Shuna. As all of them were enjoying the food, one particular person was waiting for Rimuru, and that person was none other than Chloe. Chloe, sensei, I miss you. Chloe runs to Rimuru and hugs her. Rimuru, oh Clon, how are you? Chloe, I'm doing good with 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏, even though she always dress me up in costumes sometimes. Chloe said as she is being pat by Rimuru. Inko, Ano Rimuru, who is she? Inko asked Rimuru as she was interested by the interactions of Chloe and Rimuru. Rimuru, well mom, this is Chloe, my student and one of the strongest heroine in the history of this world. Chloe got a bit shy after what Rimuru said. Inko, nice to meet you Chloe-san. Chloe, nice to meet you too Inko-san. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏, Rimuru froze as she hears a familiar voice and turns around to see 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 and Louise carrying a bunch of dresses. Rimuru, oh hi 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏. Before Rimuru could even say anything, she is immediately pulled by 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 to get her to change with Izuku. Izuku has been training under the guidance of Zeno for a few years now, and he is getting stronger than ever. He now has the power and strength of a mid-tier god and is now close on being on par with Yuki. Zeno, Izuku, stop for now, you have to go back. Izuku got confused why Zeno stop him. Izuku, but did something happen? Izuku got concerned why Zeno wants him to go back as he still had few years to train. Zeno, he is coming here and I will not let him get to you. Zeno then touches Izuku, who immediately got cover in light. Zeno, I have sped up your evolution, you should be waking up now, and also take this. This will help you evolve more. This helped me a lot before and I am sure it would help you. Zeno then touches the light which was fading and gave Izuku something mysterious. The light then disappeared and so did Izuku, and suddenly Zeno activates a barrier which successfully blocked what was supposed to be a surprise attack. Villain Izuku equals 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏. You're still as strong as ever. Zeno, now where is my other self? Villain Izuku appears himself. Zeno, you have no business in here, child, and I already sent away the other you and I am sure he will be the one to defeat you. Zeno says as he forms a battle stance. 𝗧𝗏, no one can beat me now, you old gods. Can't see that I'm inevitable. I am the one who is destined to rule everything. And I will make sure to kill every single one of you. Villain Izuku then rushes towards Zeno, who also charges at him. Meanwhile, in Tempest, in the room where Izuku is currently being surrounded by blinding light and the whole aura concentrated in the room because of 𝗵𝗃𝗁 and 𝗪𝗲, who quickly reacted to the situation and puts barrier around the room to prevent the powerful aura from harming the civilians. 𝗵𝗃𝗃. This aura is quite powerful, truly deserving to be Rimuru-sama's partner, 𝗵𝗃𝗁 said, struggling to keep the barrier. As the aura is very powerful, it is like containing the three true dragon on their 100% power. The same can be said for 𝗪𝗲 and 𝗪𝗏, who is almost going to be exhausted from concentrating all of their magicules on the barrier. Soon help arrive, being Sui, Benino, 𝗂𝗏, Shuna, and the other executives as well. Benino. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, what is happening? 𝗵𝗃𝗁. It seems like Izuku-sama's body is reacting. Maybe it's the end of his evolution, I don't know entirely. Beninaru and the others then felt the leaking auras and felt enormous power from the aura. They felt even if it is little. Soon all of them started concentrating their magicules onto the barrier. For a few minutes it finally stopped, and all of them went in one by one, and sees an incredible strings floating around, and all of them feels tremendous power coming on each of the strings. Izuku. Where am I? All of them look and saw Izuku finally awake with his aura leaking. Benimaru. We should inform Rimuru-sama and 𝗂𝗃𝗁. No need. 𝗂𝗃𝗁 then appears to each one of them, and all of them immediately bows Izuku. Scene. 𝗂𝗃𝗁. Izuku, you're finally awake. Do you know how worried we were? 𝗂𝗃𝗁 ran and hugged Izuku, which made all of the subordinates shocked to see 𝗂𝗃𝗁 act like this. She always has been emotionless, and now she was showing emotions. Izuku, I am so sorry for making you all worry, especially you and 𝗵𝗃𝗁. By the way, where is 𝗵𝗃𝗁? 𝗂𝗃𝗁. Rimuru-sama is in 𝗪𝗃𝗃's right now, and Izuku, you want to do something fun? Izuku, seeing 𝗂𝗃𝗁's grin, knew that 𝗂𝗃𝗁 is up to something again. Izuku, okay, what's the plan? 𝗂𝗃𝗁. 𝗂𝗃𝗁 giggles by Izuku's reaction and told him the plan. Izuku, wouldn't 𝗵𝗃𝗁 know it's mean? 𝗂𝗃𝗁, leave that up to me. Izuku and Izuku, sure, so let's start, shall we? Izuku and 𝗂𝗃𝗁 then teleports. Meanwhile, in the 𝗪𝗃𝗃s, as Rimuru was being forcefully wear costumes by Ruminas, suddenly the dimensions started to shake violently as if something wants to come in. Rimuru, this aura. Rimuru immediately recognize whose aura it is. Guy. Someone's trying to come in. How bold of it. Guy is now serious and awaits the intruder to get in. Everyone got ready to battle as they await for it to come in. Then finally the top of the ceiling broke and Izuku came dropping down, landing on the ground violently, making the whole dimension shake. Rimuru, guys, don't fight him, that's my fiancé. Everyone then is shocked and look at Izuku. Rimuru, 𝗂𝗃𝗁, what is happening to 𝗂𝗃? 𝗂𝗃𝗁, answer. Izuku right now is not in his right mind due to the sudden changes to his body because of the magicules around him. His mind was still getting used to it, but the evolution made it hard, thus making the mind overwhelm. Guy. So this is your fiancé? Rimuru seems like he is not in the right state of mind. Guy immediately charges towards Izuku with a punch, and Izuku counters it with his own punch. Boom, the dimension shook from the force of the impact of the two. Guy. This. Guy is strong. Guy trying to put more force into his fist against Izuku's fist is slowly being overpowered by Izuku. Izuku, I am so sorry 𝗵𝗃𝗁, but this is getting fun. Izuku then disappears out of sight and appears behind Guy and kick him to the ground. Izuku, what are you doing? Stop this. This isn't you. Izuku looks and is shocked that her mother is there. Izuku, and why didn't you tell me mom is here? 𝗂𝗃𝗁, it must have slipped under my mouth. I'm so sorry. Izuku, who knew that this was part of 𝗂𝗃𝗁's plan by hearing 𝗂𝗃𝗁's tone. Izuku, frick, I have to keep playing or else I am dead. Izuku immediately blocks Guy's punch but is met by a sword coming straight at him. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, you are strong. Noda. 𝗵𝗃𝗁 in her battle mode looks at Izuku and charges again, but this time with Guy, who charges with his fist. Izuku, I shouldn't have agreed to it. Ruminas, your fiancé is very strong. Rimuru and handsome too. Ruminas said her lips. Rimuru, 𝗂𝗃𝗁, you're dead. Rimuru glares at Izuku for making another girl fall for him. Izuku, I feel like I'm gonna die, blocking both Guy's punch and dodging 𝗵𝗃𝗁's sword. 𝗃𝗁, please stop. Son, please. 𝗃𝗁 came at the center of the fight, stopping it. 𝗃𝗁, Izuku, look at me, my baby boy, please come back. Izuku immediately disappears and appears right in front of Rimuru, who is about to dodge Guy. Rimuru dodge. Everyone then is shocked as Izuku kisses Rimuru in the lips. Izuku, 𝗵𝗃𝗁. Rimuru, 𝗂𝗃𝗁, 𝗂𝗃𝗁, what is happening? 𝗂𝗃𝗁, Izuku and I made a plan to surprise us. Rimuru is then shocked. Rimuru, so it was just a prank? Rimuru smiles, but the smile was generating a very dark aura. 𝗵𝗃𝗁. So my Sam is just pranking me. Same can be said to 𝗵𝗃𝗁, making Izuku pale. 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁 immediately bows down to the ground. Izuku, I am so sorry Mom, Ri-chan, and to everyone. Rimuru/𝗵𝗃𝗁, you and I are gonna have a talk after this. Izuku, 𝗧𝗵𝗃𝗁. So it was just a prank. 𝗵𝗃𝗁. Rimuru, your fiancé is strong. Noda. Soon after, Izuku meets everyone and Rumina's kept flirting with Izuku, which made Rimuru glare at Izuku, in turn making him pale, and then they went back to their respective domains. Rimuru, icon. You made another girl fall again. Izuku, 𝗳𝗏𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗍. Meanwhile, in Zeno's palace, everything is in destruction, and soon a figure dropped to the ground loudly. Izuku, I told you, you can't beat me. Zeno, I know, but I know that boy will, and many others. Izuku, they may try, but it won't be enough to beat me. Izuku then fires a destructive beam towards Zeno, who already used up his energy in fighting Izuku. Zeno, I will leave this up to you now. Izuku. Zeno got swallowed by the beam and the castle exploded. Izuku, I am gonna kill you all. Then he vanished and Zeno, who is in the ground, barely alive. Zeno, Izuku, I hope you defeat this monstrosity that's coming, and I will give you my final gift. Zeno then with his last breath transferred half of the power he has and transferred it all to an orb. Zeno, goodbye. Zeno then dies. Meanwhile, the orb is flying straight to where Izuku is at. Few days after the 𝗲𝗃𝗃𝗃, Izuku trained his new power he got from Zeno, and lately at night he hears voices coming to him. Flashback, Izuku was sleeping peacefully, then suddenly he heard a voice. You must defeat him. He is coming. Those words kept repeating every night to Izuku's mind, making him turn on his skill tranquility to sleep peacefully without the voice bugging him. Flashback ends. Today is the start of the festival, and Tempest have a lot of visitors from top nobles from other kingdoms, kings and queens of other kingdoms, and also many civilians coming from different places. Right now Izuku is in Rimuru's office looking over the city by the window. Izuku, while there is so many people, Rimuru, I have to go and greet the kings and queens of the other kingdoms. I will be back as fast as I can. Izuku, oh okay, have fun. Ri-chan. Izuku then kisses her on the cheeks, making her blush. Rimuru, okay you T2 icon. Rimuru then went out to go greet the guests. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, Izuku, you should get ready, many people are about to meet you later. Izuku, okay mom. Izuku then went out and went to his room to get change while 𝗵𝗃𝗁 is trying to help, but 𝗃𝗏 wouldn't let her. 𝗃𝗏, you should just stay and rest. 𝗵𝗃-sama. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, but I want to help. 𝗃𝗏, as Rimuru-sama's mother-in-law, we can't let you tire yourself. 𝗵𝗃-sama, so just relax and let us handle it. 𝗵𝗃𝗁, oh okay. 𝗵𝗃𝗁 then went to Izuku's room, help him to be properly dressed. Meanwhile, in the MHA world, Izumi and the others were fighting a villain called Wolfgang, but is having a hard time due to the villain's power-up. Izumi, Dad, dodge. Izumi shouting to his father while also dodging every metal that is being thrown at her. Katsumi, how can we get close to this guy? Izumi, I don't know, I am still thinking. I already used up all of my energy from using the world and planetary devastation and it did nothing to him. I have to go beyond for Oni-chan. Shoka, Izumi, watch out. Izumi then got hit and she fell to the ground. All Might. Izumi, seeing her daughter getting hurt brings him back to the memories where he saw his MSDR's death and the time where Izuku is hurt and Izumi is raped. He couldn't do anything and he didn't want to see his loved ones be hurt anymore. He immediately went beyond 100% and saved Izumi. Izumi is already hurt and exhausted, and when she looks up she sees his dad is not smiling anymore. All Might, rest Izumi, I will take care of this. Katsumi, Shoka, please protect Izumi. All Might then went on top of a rubble facing Wolfgang. Kaminari, All Might, let me help too. All Might then sees his successor Kaminari, who went beside him with the gauntlet that Melissa gave him. All Might, are you sure you're ready for this, young Kaminari? Kaminari then nods and both of them stood looking up to Wolfgang. All Might, then let's do this. Both Kaminari and All Might charges to Wolfgang. Wolfgang, you heroes never learn to give up, don't you? RS. Wolfgang then gathers all of the metals forming a huge block metal and sent it straight through to All Might and Kaminari. All Might/Kaminari, one for all, go beyond plus ultra. Shoka/Katsumi, go All Might. Hyoka/Ida, go Kaminari. Melissa 𝗬𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏, you can do it. Both Kaminari and All Might punches the metal block with all of their might, destroying it, now charging towards Wolfgang using all of their might. One last to defeat him. All Might, this is for hurting my daughter and my students. Kaminari, this is for hurting my friends, especially my Kyoka. 𝗵𝗃/𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏, one for all 100% go beyond plus ultra. Take this power. Both All Might and 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 heard a voice in their heads and suddenly both became more powerful, and with it they use it to punch Wolfgang, defeating 𝗵𝘃𝗀𝗏. They did it? Everyone on the rooftop cheered, and then they saw both 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏 and All Might falling fast to the ground. Knock out cold Katsumi. I'll catch them, immediately blast towards them, but she suddenly stops when she sees both are floating, and she immediately looks to Izumi, who uses her quirk, putting them down gently before passing out Shoka. Izumi, you did a good job, we will take care of the rest now. Shoka then brought Izumi to Momo and Kyoka as she went to get All Might and 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏. Meanwhile with Yuki, how can this be? I gave Wolfgang the power to kill them and he got defeated by those weaklings. Yuki was angry, his plans were not going through, and to top it all he doesn't know how strong Izuku is now, making him more stressed. Yuki, I have to do it now. AFO, what partner? Yuki, this. He immediately put his hands on top of All for One's head, absorbing the quirk and every quirk that All for One had. Yuki, yes, with this I can finally get my hands on that slime. Just you wait, Rimuru. Yuki shouts, and All for One's body fell to the ground, dead. Back to Tempest. It is now time for Izuku to be known by everyone. Izuku, I am kinda nervous. Richan, don't worry Aikun, you just have to breathe slowly and just be you. Izuku, thanks Richan. Rimuru, no problem, let's go now, it's time. Rimuru and Izuku then went to the stage, and everyone stops and look at her and notices Izuku and starts to murmur who Izuku is. Rimuru, everyone, I want to thank all of you for coming to this festival. And now there is someone I would like all of you to meet. He is very special to me. I want you all to meet my fiancé Izuku Tempest. Izuku then wave his hands out nervous while everyone is shocked, including the kings and queens of other countries. Meanwhile the octagram is just eating, knowing who Izuku already is. King 𝗧𝗏𝗧, this is too surprising, I will have talked to my junior about this, 𝗧𝗏𝗧 said while recovering from choking from his drink. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏𝗄, so Rimuru finally found himself a man, and he's very hot too. 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏𝗄 said, her lips Masayuki. Congrats Rimuru-san. Meanwhile every citizen in Tempest cheered Izuku. Hi everyone, I am Izuku Tempest, nice to meet you all, Izuku said, bowing on the stage. Rimuru, and also I would to announce to you all that I, Rimuru Tempest, announced that Izuku Tempest is my successor. Everyone then went quiet because of shocked 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏. Rimuru, yo, we seriously need to have a talk about this, 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 mumbling to himself. Izuku, any Richan, this wasn't in the plan, whispers to Rimuru. Rimuru, I know, but I want everyone to know that you are my successor and soon to be king of Tempest. Rimuru whispers to him, then kisses him on the cheeks, making him blush. Izuku, Arichan, you know there is still people watching us, right? Rimuru then remembers, and she blushed madly red and teleports out of there embarrassed, and so did Izuku. Meanwhile everyone laughs and cheer for their leader and Izuku, and the festival went on. Time skip. Rimuru is now in her office with Izuku beside her and also King 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏. King Yum beside him is her wife Queen 𝗲𝗏𝗏 and also Empress 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏𝗏 Saran. 𝗧𝗏𝗏, Rimuru, we need some explanation. 𝗧𝗏𝗏 then stared Rimuru like he did once more every time she does something similar like this. Rimuru, well, she then starts explaining, starting on how she met Izuku up to now. Everyone then look at Izuku with saddened look for what happened to him in his past. Izuku, I commend you for surviving such a horrible experience. It shows that you have a very strong will. Izuku, thanks King Yum. Ha, no need to call me king, just call me Yum. Izuku, thanks again Yum. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, true to survive such a horrendous past. Okay, I accept. Izuku, what accept? Rimuru, he still kinda see me as his junior, so that's like he is accepting you to become King 𝗵𝗃𝗧𝗏𝗏. But though the troubling news is that Yuki, all the people except Rimuru and Izuku went serious again, as they know how powerful Yuki is and experienced his power firsthand when he unleashed his attack to the cardinal world. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, Rimuru, why have you not dealt with him yet? Izuku, cause I will be the one to end him. All look at Izuku for him to speak more. Izuku, Richan has chosen me as her successor, and as her successor it is my task to be the on to defeat Yuki and prove that Richan didn't choose wrong. 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏, well then I have my answers, but Izuku, remember this, with great power comes with great responsibility, use them wisely. Izuku nodded. Then the meeting between the three kingdoms, and meanwhile somewhere in Ingratiate 2 people wearing black hooded robes were seen walking in an alley and stop as if they are waiting for someone, and soon another man wearing a red t-shirt with a mask on appears before them. Hooded man 1, she has returned, we have to stop our plan for a while until she leaves. Hooded man 2, Agreed, we can't risk losing everything to that monster, but the masked man wasn't having it. He grabs one of the hooded person by the neck and slam him to the wall. Masked man, I don't care if she is here. I have been waiting, planning and training my whole for this. Continue the plan, I'll deal with her. He then let go of the hooded person who dropped to the ground. Hooded man too. But what about her fiancé? Masked man, we capture him and force her out and make her do our bidding. Hooded man 1. But we don't even know the power that the guy ha-. The masked man immediately shoots the other guy with a water bullet on the head, killing the man immediately. Masked man, I didn't hire you to ask questions, did I? The other hooded man was shocked by the situation and just kept silence so that he won't be next. Hooded man 2. I will gather my men then and capture Izuku Tempest. Hooded man 2. Sigh, I hope whatever you're planning succeeds, cause if it don't we'd all be dead. The hooded man then grab his dead partner and disappear. Masked man, don't worry, I have the power. He then held out his hands and energy starts to appear in his hands, more specifically stardust energy. Masked man, with this power I can finally rule this world. Then somewhere far out in the space is villain Izuku watching. 𝗵𝗃 Izuku, let's see what my other self can do.